Me live. All right, so we're going to break down in this bonus module one of my very, very, very favorite things to talk about, which is Facebook ads. Facebook ads is something that has been a game changer for my business. Now, I always like to clarify that Facebook ads does not replace your vital behaviors. Okay. And I need to share my philosophy about this a little bit before I go into this so that people don't get confused, so that people understand, even though I hate the word balance. Oh gosh, I hate the word balance with all of my heart. I hate that word. But for lack of a better word, there is some balance to this. So let me explain what I call expansion mode and building mode, which is something that I talk about in the 1 week month group, but I know we have several people in here that have never been through that group. Building mode is when you first start your business and you have no money on your side. A lot of times you have very little time on your side because you're either working another job or maybe if you're a stay-at-home parent, you're just kind of fitting things in the mom cracks, whatever it is. Building mode is you don't have a successful business yet. So you don't have a lot of money on your time. You don't have a lot of time on your hands, and all you have is hustle. Okay, that's it. That's it. And that's why it's so important to have the daily tasks that are so focused that you're doing every single day to make sure that you are making the most of that little bit of time that you do have. I always say when you're in building mode, you want to stick to the activities that put money in your pocket, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to get you to that next level. But the next level I call expansion mode. And expansion mode is when you start to have some time on your hands, when you start to actually make a little money that you can afford to invest back in. What you need to do is start investing your time and your energy and your money into things that will create lasting time and energy and money. In other words, you go from just being a worker to an investor. Now, some of us understand that a little bit better from a money perspective. We have this mode where you don't have enough money to do anything other than pay the bills. So do you invest $1,000 a month when you can barely pay the bills? Probably not. It's probably not smart. It's probably better to have air conditioning in your house in the summer and heat in the winter than to have money saved up, right? Or invested. But when you start making extra money, you want to immediately start investing money for the future so that you never have to worry and you don't, Dave Ramsey has these things that he calls, say like your backup fund and your security money that you have put away. And those things are very, very, very important to do once you can afford to do them. So here's the thing. Some of you in this group are to the point where you have extra money that you're ready to invest. If that's the case, I'm going to teach you how to invest it so you don't lose it. Because one of the number one things I hear about Facebook ads is I've tried and I wasted my money. I wasted hundreds of dollars. If you've wasted hundreds of dollars, that is proof to me that you did not know what you were doing, because I personally experimented at the beginning with $15 at a time until I learned how to make that profitable. Now I spend thousands of dollars. In fact, most days I spend $200 or $300 just on ads. If I have a webinar coming up, that bumps up to sometimes $500 to $1,000 a day that I spend on ads. But it didn't start that way. Okay. And here's the problem is a lot of people think that the only way to do it is to spend a lot of money, and that's 100% false. And that is the beauty of Facebook ads, is it allows you to be an investor even if you just have $5, because you can run your ads for as little as $1 a day if you choose to. They won't be as productive. You won't get a chance to learn as much, but if that's all you have, that's okay. That's okay. But here's what I don't want you to do. Here's what I don't want anyone to do. I actually warned one of my clients of this and and she didn't listen to me, and she paid for it. And a month later, she was like, "You were totally right. I should have listened to you." I do not want you to say, "Hey, I just learned Facebook ads from Josh and he knows what he's doing and he spends thousands of dollars. So I'm going to go spend thousands of dollars and stop doing all of this inviting, because Josh said that if I run Facebook ads, people will start coming to me, and that means I don't need to invite anymore. That means I don't need to post anymore. That means I don't need to blah, 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 blah anymore." 100% false. Do not fall into that trap. I like to say it this way. When you get to the point where you have some extra time and you have some extra money to start investing, and again, if you don't, that's okay. Take what you learn, put it in your pocket. Okay. This is not for everyone, and that's all right. But when you have extra time and you have extra money, what you need to do, in my opinion, and this is how I do it, You put 80% of your time and money and energy into what's already working. In other words, the thing that you know you can depend on. And you only take maybe 20% at most of your time and energy and money and put it into something that is not proven for you yet. Even if it's proven for me, my business is different than your business. My skills are different than your skills. Obviously, the time I've put into learning is different than the time that you have put into learning. I went through Zach Spuckler's training. And by the way, if you want to get more in-depth training than what I'm about to give you, Zach Spuckler is my personal mentor. I went through a training he has called How to Rock Your Facebook Ads. His website is heartsoulhustle.com. He's a 23-year-old with a multi-six-figure business. He's an absolute genius. I went through his training and changed my world. I started running ads. I started experimenting. Took me about 3 months to get where they started profiting. But I still have an ad, and I'll show it to you guys here in a minute, that I've been running for over a year now that I believe has something like 2,500 comments on it. That's 2,500 people that came to me asking me for more information about what I have to sell instead of me having to go find them. Now, if you think about it, 2,500 divided by 12 months, guys, that's over 200 people a month. Now, in the art of recruiting, I've assigned you 10 invites a day times 5 days a week. That's 50 times 4. What is that? 200. The amount of work that you guys are putting in every single day to do all these invites, I am doing manually without even breathing, without doing anything. I have 200 invites a month going out while I sleep. You see the value of it? Now, again, it took me 3 months to tweak things and learn things and get to where that would happen. This is an ad that I spent $5 a day on. $5 a day. You hear 2,400 people, you're like, man, he must have spent like several thousands of dollars. And by this time, maybe it's accumulated to that much. And I'll show you in a little bit. I'm pretty open about what I spend. I don't hold anything back. I'll show you my whole back office. But that's the power of Facebook ads, is it's creating what I would call a funnel. A funnel is where you create a way to get people who do not know you to get to your desired place, which for you guys is becoming a coach, without you having to go put in the work and energy to get them there. Right now, what you're doing is starting conversations through Facebook groups, through hashtags. You're starting conversations left and right with all these people to try to get them to the point where you can invite them. So you had to go find them. You had to strike up a conversation, and then you had to do the invite. And then finally, we find out if they actually want to buy. I have an ad. It never changes. It's the same all the time. Now, I have, several different ads that run, but this one ad for the art of recruiting, this one ad I created a year ago. And in the last year, I've done no work other than message these people back to let them know what the group is about to find out whether or not they want to buy. I skipped the whole forming process and just got to the invite. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys tonight. And I want to give you kind of my strategy. I'll show you some samples of my ads, and then I'm going to walk you through I'm going to share a screen with you, and I'm actually going to walk you through setting up some ads that go with the system that I'm about to teach you. Okay. So the first thing I need you to understand, and you're like, here we go. We're going to go into mindset stuff. Yes, we always have mindset. I can never just show you because you won't get it unless we open this up first. Okay. Here's what I need you to understand. Paul Martinelli, president of the John Maxwell team, taught me this when I first joined the John Maxwell team, even though I had nothing to do with it at the time. He said, you have to start with the end in mind. Everything we do, please, 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 please write that down. It may be the most valuable thing you'll ever learn in your life, is to just start with the end in mind. Okay? Notice the process that I've walked you through in this group. What do? We find people. We start conversations with people, which technically is like connect. And then we have conversations, which is more connecting. And then we try to get them to an invite. We try to close them. We have this, basically some people call it form, which is family, occupation, recreation, message. It's just forming is kind of a, just like a word that people use for walking people through the process of connecting with them to try to get them to sign up. Okay. Facebook ads, I want you to think of it. We're doing the exact same thing. We're forming people, but we're using ads to do it. Some people and most people who get it wrong try to skip the connecting and go straight to the closing. Now, sometimes you can do that if you're really, really, really good, like I have become, and I don't say that to be cocky, but I just know my audience very well. I know my audience incredibly well. You're all Beachbody coaches, and I tell you guys that I know your business better than a lot of you do. So it's easy for me to speak your language. Most of you do not know your niche's language the way I know mine. And a lot of you don't even know what your niche is at all. Now, that's something that I'm going to kind of go into a little bit and hopefully help you define a little bit. Even though it's going to be geared to ads, I really think it'll help open up your mind about everything you do, okay? So here's what I don't want you to do. I do not, the same way, I've said this in the group, I don't want you doing a whole bunch of cold invites unless that's just all you have left to do. Now, if it's all you have left to do, get the freaking work done. That's okay. That's fine, right? But that's not the ideal way. And it's the same with running Facebook ads. Cold invites is not the ideal way. In other words, running an invite to someone to pay money for a challenge group or a coaching opportunity that has no idea who the heck you are is not the best way to do it. So here's the system that I personally use. I'm going to teach you a little bit more of the system that I use for my webinar, okay? Because most of you, I have the Art of Recruiting ad. Let's face it, guys, if you're a Beachbody coach, it's really, really, really easy for me to just say, are you a coach who wants to recruit more coaches? And everyone in the network goes, yes, please. Yes, please. But you don't know your customer's language that well. And let's face it, no one has it as easy as I do. In fact, my own mentor, Zach Spuckler, spends 10 times on ads what I do to get the same kind of results. He says, Josh, you just have a really, really unfair advantage because you have one specific niche that you work and they know your language. He said, it doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing because you 100% do. It just means you're going to get conversions a lot cheaper than other people can. And that's, be thankful for that. And I am very thankful for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to, number one, try to turn your cold market into a warm market, which is really the same process as going on Facebook, going into a group and finding people who have common interests and sending them a friend request, right? We took someone who had no idea who you were to now knowing who you are. We're trying to get people from being cold to being warm. And then we want to make a connection with them. And then we want to capitalize, which is invite, convert, whatever that looks like, okay? So it's a 3-step process. It looks pretty much the same as it would on your personal page or on your Instagram. We're just, first of all, trying to get people to know who the heck you are. On the John Maxwell team, we say people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Write that down if you haven't heard me say that before. I've said it a million times, but people do business with people they know, like, and trust. We're trying to run people through a funnel to where they know us, then they like us, then they trust us. Now we have a purchase. If they don't know who you are, how can they like you and how can they trust you? You do not have a sale. Now, some people are really good at it. Honestly, Bonnie Engel rocks Facebook ads and she signs coaches like that, but that's taken a lot of work. It's taken a lot of effort. And I don't want you to just assume because Bonnie does that you can run your very first ad and do the same thing. Okay. Now, maybe 3 months from now, you'll have figured out your target audience enough and their language enough that maybe you can, but I'm not going to encourage you to spend your money up front like that. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through taking those 3 steps. Remember, turn cold market, people who don't know you, into people who do know you, and then connect with them and then capitalize with them. I'm going to teach you the system that I use for my personal like page to do exactly that. Okay. And let me actually show you. So I'm gonna give you the three things, and then we'll go back over them, okay? So in order to get people who do not know us, in other words, our cold market, to know us, the one thing we're going to do that I'm going to teach you that I believe, I mean, it works for me, this is exactly how I build my like page, is motivation posts. It's literally the most simple. When I teach you guys this, your heads are just going to fall off because you're going to be so blown away at how easy this is to grow your like page for so cheap. So number one, to get people who do not know who we are to know who we are, we're just going to use motivation posts. And I'll show you in a second a couple examples of how I do that. Usually it's just a fun, simple picture of you that kind of shows your brand and has a motivational quote, something so freaking easy. And then in order to get them to actually build the connection, to get them, okay, now they know us, now let's connect with them, we're going to use either some type of application for a free group, or we're going to run a free group, or we are going to run some type of an event. In other words, instead of running a call to action immediately, we're going to run some type of, it's still a call to action, but for something that's free. Because remember, now they know you, but we don't know if they like you or trust you yet. So let's just take one extra step. And again, in this group is going to be included a video. If you're in the art of recruiting, will be included a video on using free groups to convert. Megan Eggleston, gosh dang it, I'm so sorry, Megan. I butcher your name every time I say it. She's going to be running she's going to be doing the video on how to run free groups to use them to convert. I'm just going to teach you how to get people into the free groups. Make sense? And then the third thing, then we're going to run some call to action posts towards your like page. Now, here's the thing. Once people are on your like page, okay, they know who you are, and hopefully we've got them to like us and to trust us. Now we can say, hey, I've got a group starting next week, and I'm taking the next 10 ladies, men, whatever it is. If you're needing to lose 10 pounds or if you are ready to whatever, blah, 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 comment below. How many of you guys, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but when I say I have a new group starting, I get tons of comments. And that's because people know and like and trust me. Now, if I run an ad to people that don't know, like, and trust me, it looks a lot different. Trust me, I've tried. I have run call to action posts towards non-Beachbody coaches to experiment just to see what it would look like. And it looks really, really, really bad. And the reason for that is because in the Beachbody community, I can say I mentored 6 different elite top 10 coaches and 7 different superstar diamonds. So even if you didn't know who I was, now you trust me. Really big difference, okay? I'm trying to help you get to the point where people know, like, and trust you. So let's walk through each of these. Let's go through the motivation post first. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you one of the examples that I use, and then give you kind of just a rundown of how to actually start that and run it from scratch. If you've run Facebook ads before and done them lots of times, there may be a couple things that bore you to death, but I need everyone to see exactly how to go in and exactly how to edit this stuff, okay? I am using Safari tonight, unfortunately, because I just got my computer back from repairs and I don't have Chrome on it yet. So if it looks a little bit different, it's because I'm on Safari instead of Chrome, but the wording should be the same, okay? So let's share screen here. You'll get a chance to see my messy desktop because it's all over the place. Okay, can you guys see my screen? It's the Zoom screen right now because I had to go to Zoom to download it before our call. Okay, and I'm going to go to my Facebook page. This is my Facebook page, which I need to change my cover photo because it cuts off everyone's faces. So if you're at your personal page, if you want to run an ad, you're going to go to this top right little bottom caret, and you're just literally going to go down to, and it's going to go slow for me because I'm screen sharing and I have a ton of people on this call with me. Come on. Here, let's close all this crap out. Let's get it down to one window and maybe that will help. And it's not even closing, is it? Give me one sec, guys. We'll edit this crap out for the actual module. We have 40. The only thing that sucks about Zoom is it lags when you try to screen share with people. Let's see here. This whole thing is just froze out. There we go. I just force quit it. We'll start a new one. There we go. And now you don't want to load for me. That's awesome. There we go. There we go. See if we can hopefully get it to run a little bit smoother. Okay, share screen. We're going to go to my Facebook. There we go. Can you guys see that? You guys see my Facebook? Okay, cool. The only person, just FYI, let me pull this up here. Give me one sec here. I just need to there we go. Karen, C-A-R-I-N. Just FYI, when I go to screen share mode, you're the only person I can see. So when I'm like, can you guys see me? If you could just give me like because otherwise I'll record an entire video and people will be like, well, that sucked. Like we couldn't even see anything. Like, okay, so just give me big, huge head nods. Okay. It's really, when I go to screen share, it will only show me one person. So you got my back tonight? Okay. You're awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. She's like, crap, am I in trouble? What happened? Okay. You can see it. Can you see it? See my Facebook? Okay, good. So if we're going to run an ad, we go to right here and we literally just go to create ads. And that's going to pull up our whole ad thing. There we go. Here's where you left off. This is if I actually had started an ad that I closed, and I do this a lot to show people exactly how to run through stuff. So we're going to go back to scratch from right here. But before we do, I told you that I was going to show you some samples. Okay, so let's go to Facebook. Don't you be mean to me, Facebook, or I will kill you. I don't know how many of you guys have Safari on your computers, but it's oh, Megan Geese just shared a picture with me. Aw, that was her on stage showing off her Nikes that she won in my 1 week month group. I don't know if you're on here, Megan, but if you are, you're a rock star. Okay, and we're going to go to my page, which is Legacy Leadership. And I just updated my photos. Isn't that pretty? And if I go to my notifications, okay, so here is an ad that I run for you guys because you're all Beachbody coaches, correct? And so you guys like to see health and fitness. And you really, really, really like it when your mentor is also into health and fitness because now we have like a double connection, correct? So I actually set this ad up intentionally on purpose to connect with Beachbody coaches. It's a picture of me actually working out at the Kansas City Super Saturday that I spoke at in January. And look how simple this is. Don't put off your life, your health, or your business another day. Sometimes later becomes never. Does that not sound like your guys' words? I mean, I'm literally speaking. What I'm trying to do is speak your language so that you see it and go, hell yes, I like this guy. That's all I'm trying to get. Remember, people do business with people they know, like, trust. I'm actually trying to knock out know and like in the exact same step. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people, and someone's trying to put something in the chat, and unfortunately when I'm in screen share, I like literally can't see that at all. So Karen, if there's something like really important, like wave your hands and scream and yell at me, okay? You can unmute yourself and scream at me, okay? But so here's the thing. A lot of people say, and there's even some Facebook trainings running around that are really popular in Beachbody right now that are trying to get people to run these like campaigns and build up your page to a huge following. And I have a bunch of the people that have gone through that training in my mastermind group, and every single one of them has said the exact same thing. I've spent a ton of money and I've never converted a single person. I grew my like page and I have a bunch of likes on my page and I've never made money off of it. Okay. I learned from Zach Spuckler, and his whole philosophy is teaching you how to create converting ads. In other words, to make money. Okay. I pay him a lot of money because he's made me a lot of money. So please, please, please listen to me. okay, as someone who personally makes thousands of dollars a month off of my ads and is mentored by someone who makes thousands of dollars probably a day off of his ads, please, please, please hear me out. I'm not against like campaigns. I'm not. But here's why this is better. Remember, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. I just got you to know me and like me in the same step. I knocked out 2 birds with 1 stone. Now you're saying, but that just got people to like your post and comment. It didn't get them to like your page. Wrong. My assistant, one of his daily tasks, you see this? 1.2 thousand likes, okay? It's reached 28,000 people. If I remember right, I'm paying $5 a day for this, okay? I posted this in February 9th. As I'm recording this video live, it's May 9th? So March, April, May. In 3 months, guys, I've accumulated 1.2 thousand likes, and all I have to do is click that right there, and I can do this on my phone as well. See how it says invited, 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 liked? What you can do is you click on the people that have liked the post, and you can scroll through here, and if you haven't already invited them, this little thing will say invite. You literally click on it, and it sends them a notification that says, Josh Coates has invited you to Like Legacy Leadership. So what I'm now doing is I'm getting people to know me and like me, and then I have permission to go invite them to like my page. And I would say probably 25 to 30% of the people you invite go through and actually like your page, okay? Liked, invited, 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 liked, invited, 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 liked, invited, 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 liked, invited, liked, liked, invited, invited, liked, invited, liked. See, oh, there it is. Now I can show you. If I haven't already invited them, that shows up and I just boop, boom. I just invited them to like my page. Now, that does not count as checking off an invite on your tracker, by the way, but it does count towards building your like page. I'm going to message my assistant right now, tell him he's behind. I'm just kidding. He actually does a great job with this, okay? So by doing that right there, that's the number one way I grow my like page. Number one way. And I've grown my like page. I actually just hired Josh, and he started doing this for me on a daily basis 3 months ago. And I believe, if I remember right, we're growing the like page at like 2,000 people a month. 2,000 people a month, $5 a day. That's pretty awesome, right? Now, all of those people are the right people, and I'll show you how to set up the ad to make sure you're getting the right people. They're the right people. They know me and they like me. Now that they've liked my page, now I can target them with my ads, and I'm targeting a smaller pool. This is why I'm so successful with ads, is because my pool, let's face it, is small. Beachbody Coaches is only 450,000 people. If you're a stay-at-home mom, how many stay-at-home moms are there in North America? Millions, right? You're targeting millions of people. I'm targeting 450,000 people who all have the same interest. Now, here's the thing with your like page. My like page is currently at 21,000. Imagine how easy it is for me to get people to sign up when I'm fishing out of a pool of just 21,000 people who are all the right people. What I'm trying to help you to do is pull people out of the ocean and get them on a tiny little island where it's very, very, very easy to fish. Does that make sense? Instead of just throwing if you're taking a fishing rod and you're literally just throwing a line out into the ocean. That's what most of you are doing with your call to action posts, and you're just hoping that a freaking whale comes by and bites. What I'm doing is taking a whole bunch of fish food and pouring it out in the water and leading a trail back to my product. See the difference? So I'm going to show you now how to set up one of these. It's the most simple thing in the world. And actually, I'll show you one more thing. There we go. I'll show you one more thing that I run just because it's freaking awesome. And let's see if I can find it. Crap. I just said that again. Here's my video that I've been running, by the way. This is another way that you can build up likes on your page, is with videos. But this is actually a great way to build influence with the people on your page, is you can target your videos toward your like page so that all these new people coming to your page can kind of get to know who you are and what you're about. You can run like a motivation and talk about whatever it is that your brand stands for. Remember, you created a brand that said, I'm a motivator and mentor helping people to blank. That's what I would encourage you to run your ads around. Those are the people you're trying to target. So if you're trying to help people build confidence, shoot a video on why confidence is so important. Make a video on how you used to be insecure and how health and fitness has grown your confidence. Speak the language that you're trying to speak to. Notice mine is on goals. Here's the beautiful thing with goals is, yes, it's 100% business related, but it's very, very, very big in the health and fitness world, correct? So I made a goals video because it gives me an easy way to bridge that gap of health and fitness and business. Now, take a look at this. This just happened the other day, 104,000 views. It's reached 94,592 Beachbody coaches watched this video. Do you know how long it would take me to speak on enough team calls to speak to 94,000 people? Even with my webinars that have 2,500 people, you know how long it would take me to accumulate 94,000 people? A long freaking time, right? Here's what I like even more, actually, to be honest, guys, 294 shares. If you create value that just encourages people, okay, don't do a freaking video and talk about how the unicorn frappuccino is BS and it's full of sugar. Don't do that, okay? Encourage people, okay? Be someone they know, like, and trust. Know, like, trust. Gosh, I hope that I'm branding those 3 words into your brain, okay? Now, 294 times someone else advertised me to their following. You get that? And then all of these likes, again, I can click on and I can invite them to like my, look at all these people. Do you guys notice that? Do you see, and this is something, not to be honest, this is something I've never realized because I'd never looked at it like this. Look how many more people liked my page when I invited them from a video than from a motivation post. So, I mean, literally that's a discovery for me because I didn't realize how much higher of a percent it was for people to like my video, like my page when they've seen my video. So shoot, when I get off this call, I'm about to shoot some more motivation videos and run them as ads because that's incredible. I'm talking like I haven't seen if they didn't like the page, all it says is invited. Invite you while I'm here. But literally all of them just say, all of these people are people who have liked my page. See, invited. Here's 3. Those are the first 3 people that I've seen that didn't actually take the time to like my page. See how powerful videos are? Anyway, so you guys may want to go make some videos, by the way. Okay, so let's show you. And if I remember right, I'm also spending around $5 or $6 a day on that one. I've been running it since December 4th. So I have spent a chunk of change on that. Let's do some math real quick because I want you guys to know what it's actually costing to get that much result. Okay. So let's say it's May, it's run technically like 5.5 months. So we'll take 30 times 5 plus 15. It's been running for 165 days at $5 a day. I spent $825. $825 over 5.5 months got me 104,000 views, got me 94,592 people who now at least know who I am, even if they didn't like me. Now, 104,000 people watched the video and probably like me. I'm sure some of them got pissed off and thought goals were stupid or whatever, but most of them did. Now, here's the cool thing. I'm going to give you this tip now before I forget. On your phone, you can download an app called Facebook Ads. And I love this app. I'm going to pull it up and see if hopefully if it'll show on screen. Let me unshare here for a second because I want you to see how cool this app is. Okay. I open up this app. Oh, I'm hoping the lighting will let you see it. I'm going to have to hold at an angle so you're not going to be able to read it. Okay. But I'm going to just show you how cool this app is. Okay. It will tell me what I've spent today, how many people I've reached today. And this is an accumulation of all of your ads. It will show me how many page likes I got today, but then it will literally break down every single ad that I'm currently running or ever have run. And I can literally click on it and it will tell me right here on the app so that I don't have to pull up the ads manager and all that crap. It will tell me what I'm spending a day, of course. It will allow me to edit it and do little edit tweaks here. It'll allow me to duplicate it. It'll allow me to preview it from here, but it'll let me choose between lifetime, 7 days, or 1 day. And it'll give me all of the stats from this one ad in a 1 day increment, a 7 day, or a lifetime. So for instance, let me take you to that goals video that I was just showing you, okay? It'll allow me, I hate that you can't see this, but I'm gonna at least tell you about it. Ooh, that's a little better. It'll allow me to go down here and I'm gonna hit lifetime. We already saw that it was 97,693 views, right? But then it'll show me how well has it done in the last 7 days? 3,188 views. How well did it do today? 334 videos just today. Now, it'll also tell me, if I hit show details, you'll have to kind of look for this. When you scroll down, I know it's really hard to see my screen. It'll say show details. I can click on that in blue letters, and it will show me how many reactions did I get today? How many comments did I get today? How many post shares did I get today? How many link clicks did I get today? How many page likes did I get today from that one ad? I love, 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 love those features because instead of just seeing how many likes and comments you got, you can literally see the breakdown of everything that it's doing for you today, in the last 7 days, in the last 30 days, and in lifetime, which I just love, 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 love to see. And I may use this app a little bit as we're running through stuff so that I can kind of show you the power of what my ads have done and what they've produced for me, because this is just a little bit quicker than having to go into my ads manager and wait for crap to load, okay? So I'm gonna keep this open so I can keep running with stuff. But let's show you how to actually set up from scratch a motivation post. And I'm gonna not show you how to do a video because I don't have a video ready to go, but it'll look exactly the same, okay? So I'm gonna go share screen, of course. Oh gosh, I have a song stuck in my head that I'm trying so hard not to sing out loud. It's just so hard. Okay, let's run this from scratch. So let's close this. And let's go over to my ads manager. Remember, I just went to the top right where it said Josh. There was an arrow over here on my personal page. You don't have to be on your like page. You can be on your personal page. Click on it. You scroll down, hit create ad, and it brings up this page for what we are about to do. Let me move my stupid box so that my face is not in my way. Is we are actually going to go to engagement. Now, if you've watched my old Facebook ads video that I'd made for the old Art of Recruiting, all of this has changed. So I'm kind of glad that I'm doing an updated video just to see what stuff's actually called now. It's super stupid that they changed the names, but engagement is right here. Cancel. I don't want your help, Facebook. I know what I'm doing. Right here's the campaign name. Let's say we're going to call this Motivation Toward, I'm just going to say stay-at-home moms, even though I would never encourage anyone to be that vague, okay? I'm just making something up right now, okay? And we're going to do post engagement. Now, here's what some people have taught you to do. They've taught you to do page likes. But remember, when you're just getting page likes, you don't always get them to know you and like you in the same step, okay? Motivation, you have to actually go in and manually invite them. It's an extra step, but I'm telling you, in the long run, it pays off. The other thing you can do is event responses. I'm going to teach you that a little bit later in the call, okay? Post engagement, continue. And the ad set, you can run separate ad sets. The ad set simply means the people that you're running this to. In other words, the ad set is your audience. It really should just say freaking audience there, okay? But you can run multiple ad sets so that you can experiment to see which audience performs better for you. So in this ad set name, I'm just gonna name it. So I did a stay-at-home mom, so then I could do different ad sets and I could test around with running some towards yogis. Maybe you're big into yoga and that kind of goes with your brand. Or I could run this one towards, say like organic living, and you could run this one towards people eat healthy. You could literally, and I'll help you kind of sort this through as we go, okay? And I'm actually about to get to that part. But you're gonna name this something to where you know the audience that you're trying to reach, so that you can remember if you want to run multiples. What I actually do in the ad set names is I will say like page, because that means I'm targeting people already on my page, or I will say Beachbody coaches, That means I'm targeting you guys, by the way. I don't know if I ever show up in your guys' newsfeed or not. Or I might say online. I have some that I just run toward online entrepreneurs, and I'm not going to embarrass myself and try to spell entrepreneurs and let spell check fix me. But those are usually the different ad sets. In other words, the different audiences that I'm running them towards. Remember, there was a campaign name, and that's the specific overall ad that we're running. In other words, campaign name is just like the name of your post. Ad set is more the name of your audience. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that the campaign name is something that you remember exactly which post it is so that it's easier to check up on the stats and stuff. The ad set name is something to help you remember which audience it was, okay? Now, this is where it's going to get a little complicated. I'm going to try not to overcomplicate it too much. Here's where we're going to create our audience. If you're going to create an audience from scratch, we're going to scroll right past this custom audience, but I'm going to give you just a little bit of sneak into what custom audience can do. We can go right here and hit create new, and we can do a custom audience, which allows you, if you have your own website, which some of you do if you run freemiums and stuff like that, to create a list of people who have visited your website or took specific actions, and it's going to basically target those people. In other words, this is going to target your warm audience for you. Customer file, I use this one a lot. If you have people's email addresses, let's say people signed up for your free group, and in order to do so, they had to download, the free Beachbody On Demand trial. So now they're your customers, and now you have all their email addresses. You can take those email addresses, put them in Excel, and if they're in Excel, you can export it as a CSV. Okay, this is recorded. So if you need to pause, if you're watching the recording, hit the pause button, write some of this down. You can export any spreadsheet as a CSV. And as long as it has their name and their email address, it will allow you to click this. You can import from MailChimp as well. I know a lot of you use MailChimp. And I can go to this and I can say, hey, I want to upload this file. And I don't have any, because like I said, I just got my computer fixed and my whole hard drive got wiped. But if I ran a webinar last week, you guys have to register for that stuff. And now I have your email addresses, and I will literally export the list from the webinar, and I will upload it into here as a CSV. And now I can literally run an ad at all of the attendees from my webinar. If you attended my webinar, you're 1,000 times more likely to buy into the training that I advertised than some Joe Schmo off the street that's never heard of me, correct? Same thing. If people were in your free group and you have their email addresses, you can run an ad right at those people. They're 100 times more likely to buy into your challenge group than some random person that's never heard of you, correct? So that's one feature you can use. You don't really need to do it if you only have 5 people on your list, but let's say you've done several free groups now and you've accumulated 100, 200, 300, 400 emails. Here's the thing. The smaller the pool is, the more successful your results will be and the cheaper they will be. Because when you're fishing out of, some people will tell you, well, you want this big, huge audience. Not true. Not true, because the bigger the audience is, the harder it is to know which people in that audience actually know who the heck you are. The smaller the pool is, the more defined. And sometimes Facebook tries to convince you that, oh, your ad is too well defined. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I've never heard a marketing expert say, I'm really sorry, but we are targeting, this is just way too defined. I mean, we would never want this specific of a person. No, we always want as specific of a person as we can find when we know what we're looking for. Now, if you don't know what you're looking for, that's a little bit different. But if you had 200 people in your free group, we know they're the right person, correct? Because they just spent a week with you. And they wouldn't have signed up for the free group unless they were interested in the value that you offer, okay? The other thing that you can do that I really, really, really like, Megan Eggleston, by the way, kills it with this right here. She uses a lookalike audience. And I can't remember if I taught her how to do this or she already knew how to do it, but she can literally run this for all of her ads. What it does is if you click on that right there, which I'm not going to do because it'll take time and bog down our internet. If I click that right there, it's going to take everyone who's already liked your page. And it is basically going to run an analysis on those people to see what the common interest types are that those people have. And it's going to create an audience for you that looks like the people who already like your page. It's crazy. Facebook, I'm telling you right now, knows everything about your life. If you have ever gone on Amazon and looked at something and then came back to Facebook and it popped up on your feed, there's a reason for that. It's called a Facebook pixel. What it is people like me who love Facebook ads, we allow Facebook to do this thing called creating a Facebook pixel. I put it on my website. And if you come to my website, I've now given Facebook permission to track you on my website. So if you go view The Art of Recruiting but don't purchase it, Facebook now lets me know, hey, here's all the people. Now, it doesn't give me a list, but it allows me to target people who went to my website, viewed this product, and didn't buy, and I can literally run an ad if I wanted to. I don't mess around with this as much, but if I wanted to, I could run an ad for The Art of Recruiting for everyone that's ever gone to my website and looked at it, but then didn't purchase. Now, wouldn't you say those people are more likely to purchase than some Joe Schmo that's never heard of me? It's obvious that they wanted to purchase. For some reason, they had some type of emotional thing and decided not to, right? But if I can throw that in front of their face over and over, eventually they're going to think it's a sign from God, and they're going to spend $300 on The Art of Recruiting, and I'm going to thank God, correct? So when I say Facebook knows everything about you, they do. So if you have no idea what you're doing or your ads are sucking, as long as you have, a couple thousand people already on your page, if you have 5, don't run a lookalike audience. They don't know anything yet. But as long as you have enough people on there, Facebook will take away all of this stuff that I'm about to show you. It'll take it away for you. Only problem with this is sometimes if you're a really successful coach, you have thousands of Beachbody coaches following your page, and those aren't the people you want to target. Or if you're a really new coach, the only people that have liked your page are your mom, your sister, your cousin, and the people on your team. And Facebook, again, doesn't get the right people. And that's why I'm going to show you everything else in case the lookalike does not do well for you, okay? So I'm going to teach you how to create your own audience from scratch. This is probably the most important part of ads that everyone just straight up screws up, okay? Very simple. It's very, very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Number 1, it's already got the United States. If you also want to include Canada, of course you can, because you can sell to Canada. We will be going to the UK soon with Beachbody. I don't know how many people know that, but all the top coaches know it's coming soon. You could obviously, once that happens, include the United Kingdom and sell the crap out of some stuff. But for now, we'll just keep it US and Canada. You can check, by the way, in your stats on the ad to see where people live and how they're performing. So if you say, you know what, for some reason, because it's more expensive in Canada, I don't convert very well, you can always close that out, just the United States. If you're saying, dude, I'd love to have a local team, you can do this. I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I could say, I literally just want to target people who live in Tulsa, because I would love to be able to go meet up with them in person and have coffee. And I would love to have that personal connection. Now, me personally, I like to have friends here that I know, and I like the fact that no one in Tulsa, Oklahoma knows who the heck I am. I like to be able to take my kids to Target and no one go, hey, are you that dude from the webinar? I like that. Now, when I come to Beachbody events, I love that you guys know who I am. I love to get my picture taken with you. I'm a peacock. It makes me feel like I'm $1 million. It makes me feel super, super special, but I don't be on as much of a peacock as I am. I still like to have personal space. You can change this and you can dial in how far or how close. Now, to be honest, I don't highly encourage this because sometimes this is the instance where fishing out of a smaller pool isn't necessarily as good. Because there's no guarantee that just because they live in your city, they have the same interests that you do. And when you spread it out to the entire North America or United States or whatever it is, you're more likely to find more people that look like you, sound like you, which is about what I'm about to teach you. Okay? I know for me personally in Tulsa, there's a very small group of people, which is why I hang out downtown, that look like me and think like me. Most of the people in Tulsa they don't love their day job. They like to pretend they love their day job. They're okay with having hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. And at the end of the day, they wouldn't give a crap about what I do, which is why I went online to find a bigger pool to fish out of, to find more people with common interests. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm going to cross that out and I'm going to hit United States. Not that it matters because I'm not actually going to run an ad right now. Go back to the United States, please. Where'd you go? Not Arkansas. Oh, country. I just couldn't see it. There we go. Now, here's the other thing that's important. Age, okay? Age. If you're a 32-year-old, probably not a lot of 65-year-olds relating to your style, your brand, your message. If you're a 55-year-old, probably not a lot of 18-year-olds relating to your style, your brand, your message. This is some wording that Zach Spuckler gave me that I just loved. Remember how I said people do business with people they know, like, and trust? Remember those three things? Okay. Well, people want to know people that look like them, sound like them, and think like them. Write that down. Okay. People want to know people that look like you, sound like you, and think like you, which is why in my motivation posts, I write out things that think like you. Correct? So here's the thing. I want you to think it's not about your age. It's about what you look like, what you sound like, what you think like. I'm a 33-year-old, okay? And to be honest, I meet a lot of 33-year-olds that I don't look anything like. The clothes that I'm wearing right now, I got at Urban Outfitters. Now, obviously, there are a lot of 33-year-olds that still shop at Urban Outfitters, but there's a lot of other 33-year-olds that, shop at Eddie Bauer already. Whatever, there's different types of people. There's different styles, okay? Now, I had a client for a long time. Her name was Deborah Baska. And I don't know her exact age. I'm not going to guess because I could get myself in trouble. But I do know that both of her kids are grown and out, like they're out of college. And she looks like she's 35. I kid you not, she looks like she's 35. And I don't know that it would work real well if she tried to target people that are her actual age. Because people that are her actual age don't really look like her or sound like her or think like her. Here's the thing that I want you to keep in mind is just being an online entrepreneur, I always say, automatically makes you 3 to 5 years younger. And the reason for that is most people age and never meet anybody outside of their circle. And so they're very close-minded. And a lot of times not as trendy. They just don't think the same. When you're an online entrepreneur, you're forced to connect with lots of different people who have lots of different opinions. Online entrepreneurs, we don't really have a choice. We kind of, because of the culture that we're in, become more open-minded, usually a little more connected to the world around us. I live in Oklahoma. I fit in a lot better on the West Coast than I do in Oklahoma because all of my friends virtually are on the West Coast and East Coast, okay? So think about that when you're thinking about age, okay? For me personally, my golden zone personally is 25 to 40. And the reason I go up to 40 is because Beachbody coaches, because again, my target is so well defined, I can actually get away with working with people that are quite a bit older than me because my message and all of the language that I speak is still their language when it comes to business. Does that make sense? I would encourage you to experiment with a 15-year age bracket like that, okay? Go younger and older. And again, you can, in the Facebook Ads app, it will show you which ages are performing the best. Okay? This is also very important. Very, 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 very. My good friend Raina Odell on Instagram, if you go look at her transformation post, they say, looking for women only. Now, why is that? Because she posts pictures of herself on Instagram showing off her six-pack abs, and she doesn't want a bunch of creepy dudes commenting saying they're interested in her challenge group when really they just want her phone number, okay? A lot of times women do much better with an all-women audience. Now, if that's not true for you, that's okay, keep it at all, but most of the time you're going to want to click women. I'm just saying men will not perform as well. Men are not open-minded. They're not as likely to sign up for a challenge group with a woman. Now, is that 100% accurate? No, I'm just saying most of the time. If you are a dude in this group watching this video, I highly encourage you to hit all. Because again, women are more open-minded. Women are more likely to join you. And I'm just going to be real honest. For my ads, do you know what I do? Right there, women only. because there are so few men scrolling their news feed that see an ad that are open-minded enough to even see what the heck it is. I'm a dude. I'm not against dudes. If you're a dude in this group, I love you. You're my dude. I appreciate you being in this group, but you probably do not see my face as often. When I kind of brag a little bit about my Facebook ads, you're probably like, I've never seen anything. Well, there's a reason. There's a reason, okay? The women on here have probably seen my ads many, many, many times. This is also very important. I only speak English, okay? So I would make no sense to target a bunch of people who don't speak the same language as me, correct? If you don't do that, you will get a whole bunch of people who speak different languages trying to message you. And sometimes they speak just enough English to read your posts, but you have no idea what they're saying if you want to get on a call with them or whatever. Now, if you speak Spanish, please, 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 if you speak any language in addition to English, add that in there. Hey, don't you tell me, get away from me. Add that in there. If you can do both, why not target both? In the ads app, it will tell you which one's performing better. You may find that Spanish performs a lot better. Okay? Me and Saudi Almonte are about to go to work on the Spanish market, and we are about to take over the Spanish industry in North America. Okay? Shut up. I do not need to refresh my screen. I'm still here. Okay. Here's where it gets a little fancy. This is detailed targeting. This is where the money is, okay? Now, again, this is where we're trying to get people that think like us, look like us, and act like us. There's a couple different ways we can do this. Now, I want to give you an idea of what we can do here because some people don't completely understand. Can you guys tell who I've been targeting because it's in the suggestions? Autumn Calabrese, Chalene Johnson, Tony Horton, Tony Robbins, which is funny because I don't even have to do that anymore. Honestly, now I just put in Carl Deichler and Team Beachbody because I know that if you're a working coach, you are following Carl Deichler or Team Beachbody. Chalene Johnson, let's face it, has millions of followers now that aren't Beachbody coaches, so I don't use her as often. But what we can do here is, number one, we can target specific pages as long as they have big enough of a following. Oh, man, you know what would make my day? Would you shut up? I do not need to refresh. My gosh. Oh, my gosh. I'm about to kill you. It's going to make me refresh. Jay Ring, you're going to have to edit out some bombs if this happens again because, okay, continue. If you do not, okay, good. It saved what I do. Most of the time it will save what you do and leave and just leave right off. Okay. I just want to see if, I'm still a nobody. Okay. When you can get to where you can target me, I'm gonna like throw a celebration party. We're gonna crack open some champagne or something. You can target people who have big enough of a page. I'm assuming it's 40 or 50,000, maybe more, something like that. I have 21,000, so I'm not quite there. I haven't made it to Facebook's elite list yet. God knows I spend enough money. They should put me on the elite list. But what you can do is, I think actually Melissa has big enough of a page. Does she not anymore? Oh, come on. I know I swear I've targeted her before. Maybe that was on Instagram. Okay. So you can go after a specific, there we go. There's Carl. There's my boy. Thank you, Carl, for having 164,000 followers so that I can target your page all day and night. So you can target someone's actual page, okay? Which look, think about all the people and all of the places that have, it's not just people, right? Your favorite clothing store, I told you earlier, I got everything I'm wearing right now is Urban Outfitters. Your favorite clothing store is on here. Okay? Remember, people who look like you, sound like you, think like you. One of the best ways to get people who look like you and sound like you and think like you is where they shop. Let's face it, if you're shopping at the same store, you look kind of similar, correct? And a lot of times specific brands have a little bit of a culture about them, right? If you shop at Urban Outfitters, you probably think a little bit differently, which I'm kind of a contradiction to this, but you usually think a little bit different than someone that shops at Gap. Although I personally also shop at Gap a lot, but I'm one of those weird dudes that honestly just shops way too much. Gap, boom, there we go. Let's say your favorite magazine. I don't know. I don't even know the name of any magazines. I don't read freaking magazines. Is that, oh, yeah, okay. I was thinking that was Health Magazine. And here's the cool thing. Here's what's really, really, really cool, okay? Once you pick one, now it's going to give me suggestions, which is things I may not have even thought of, but I might need a little bit of help. This is going to tell me self-employment is actually suggested for people who read Health Magazine, which tells me there's a lot of people who work for themselves that are into health, correct? Who may not be currently self-employed or are self-employed through, you know, some type of work from home data thing that's not an MLM or something like that. Cosmo, Healthy Life, Fitness and Wellness. So I'm going to give you just a basic rundown just to give you an example of kind of how many, because this is the other thing. Some people are like, do I put 30 things in there? Do I put 100 things? Like how many things do I put? I usually say 4 to 5. You don't want to overcomplicate the process. If you give Facebook too much to work with, sometimes, again, remember what I said earlier, you want a more specific pool when you know who you want in the pool. Does that make sense? So I'm going to pretend for a second, just so you can see what this is. I'm going to pretend for a second. I'm trying to think of a client that I know pretty well. I'm going to pretend for a second that I'm Raina Odell, okay? Because I know Raina and her brand really, really well. If I were Raina Odell, okay, I'm going to go ahead and say, to be honest, I don't know where she shops at because she's kind of like me and shops a lot, which is why she does auctions for her own clothes because she just has way too many. But I'm going to go ahead and say, oh, crap, I just swiped over. Gosh dang it. Why did freaking A? Did you really just do that? I swiped to clear dust off my thing. Mother effer. Sorry, Josh. Have fun editing this video. Hi there, Laura. How you doing? The bombs are about to drop. Yes, continue, mother. Okay. So I'm going to pretend I'm Raina for a second. And I'm just going to put I'm going to put Forever 21. I'm not saying that that's her favorite place to shop, whatever. This is made up, okay? Just made up. Because I know that people at Forever 21 are going to look similar to her. Now, here's the thing it's going to do. Gives me all these suggestions. I may see something that actually fits me better that I wasn't really thinking about. Does that make sense? And honestly, American Apparel would probably fit her brand even better, okay? Here's the other thing that she's into is that she's a super healthy eater, like super healthy eater. So something I might do now, again, I'm not saying that this is like the perfect ad for Raina. If she was on a call with me, I would be picking her brain to find out more in-depth stuff. But I'm going generic here, okay? I would put something like Whole Foods. Let's face it, if you shop at Whole Foods, there's a really good chance you're already eating healthy, right? You're already interested in health and fitness. Does that mean you don't need to lose weight? Guys, I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of people shopping for healthy food that still need help losing weight, correct? Now, again, it's going to give me all of these options. And what you might want to do is scroll through and see, is there something that's as good as Whole Foods that has a smaller pool to shop out of? Because at the end of the day, Whole Foods is popular enough. It does have 10 million people. So I want to scroll through here. Is there something that fits that? Now, if it doesn't fit that, don't go with it. Don't just say, oh, natural product just because. Like, make sure it actually fits what you're looking for, okay? But let's see, Trader Joe's, check this out. 1.5 mil instead of 10 mil. Me personally, I'd get rid of Whole Foods and I would go with Trader Joe's because I personally have a whole lot of healthy friends. Did I just spell it wrong? Because there was Trader Joe's. There it is. I have a whole lot of friends that eat super healthy that go to Trader Joe's. That's where they go. So I'm going to pick that instead of Whole Foods because, again, it gave me a smaller pool to shop out of. Does that make sense? Now, you don't want a pool of 200 people, okay? Now I might think about, I am looking for people who are into health and fitness, who are looking for some type of an opportunity, okay? If I'm going for a challenge group, if the main thing I'm trying to do is accumulate people to my page for the sake of my challenge groups, who are some people? This is something that Zach teaches that's really, really, really smart, and you saw me already do it. Who are some people who already do what I do that I can fish out of their pool? Because if someone is already following someone like Jillian Michaels, let's face it, we know they want to lose weight, correct? You are not following Jillian Michaels unless you want to lose weight. She's not known for anything else. I know she has a podcast that she rambles for 3 hours about non-fitness related stuff, but it's supposed to be about fitness, okay? So if I go to Jillian Michaels, and you can pick through these, see this one, way too small. You don't want just 6,000 people. You got Team Jillian, Jillian Michaels Body Revolution. That's people who've already done a fitness program. You're saying, yeah, but they don't need me. No. You don't understand. 98% of these people bought Body Revolution and never did it. And they're still looking for that one thing. And when you have something, say like a free group or a challenge group that offers accountability and offers things, let's face it, guys, Jillian Michaels cannot offer anyone accountability, correct? You can. You can give people a super trainer similar to Jillian along with accountability. If looking at this list, dude, I would do Jillian Michaels Body Revolution. I've got 3 things. Now I might just want to round it off. And here's how you can round it off with something like, I like to round things off with something like Kate Hudson. And let me tell you why. And obviously you can do younger or authors, that people who are more known just for being an author and not just an actress as well, right? Here's why. If someone is already doing a little bit of reading, a little bit of personal development, dude, those are going to be some awesome freaking people. Here's what a lot of you have done wrong. A lot of you are looking for 100% broken people that you can fix. Do you know what I would rather have than a broken person? I would much rather have someone that's already putting in some work to try to fix themselves. Because broken people, let's just be real honest here, a lot of times are people who have not done any work at all and may never do any work at all. And I would much rather find someone who's already put in a little work. In fact, I used to run my ads. I'd do Carl Deichler, Team Beachbody, John Maxwell, and Tony Robbins. And that was my philosophy. I want to target Beachbody coaches who are already doing some personal development. Because if you're already doing some personal development, you're a lot more likely to spend $200 or $300 on one of my groups than someone who's not doing any personal development at all. Okay? Now, right now, I would literally just leave it that simple. That simple. Do you notice how I have several different kinds of things? Here's what some people would do. They would put Forever 21, H&M, Urban Outfitters, American Apparel. They'd be like, oh, I got it. Well, okay, so you got a bunch of trendy people, but so what? There are lots of trendy people. Just because you look the same does not necessarily mean you think the same. You know what I'm saying? There's more to it than just the clothes you wear, but I do think that there is an element, a part of the element that has to do with the way you look. Does that make sense? Especially, I will say it is even more so for people who are trendy. Okay? So if you're one of these chicks or dudes who's a mega peacock like me, and you're really, really, really into the way you dress and the way you look, and that's a huge part of your brand, I'm telling you right now, Facebook ads is about to kill it for you. That's one of the reasons Bonnie Engel does so well with Facebook ads. Because, I mean, she's a beautiful girl. She's a really beautiful girl, and so it makes her stand out like that. Okay? And I will get to that when we actually start creating the ad. This is all targeting, but I'll get to the importance of the picture in a minute. Okay? So here's the other thing is we can exclude people. So if you wanted to, you could exclude Beachbody. You could exclude Carl Deichler and Team Beachbody to make sure people that follow Carl and Team Beachbody aren't the ones seeing your ads. But I will be honest, it's not usually worth your time unless you're someone that has some huge, crazy following and everyone knows who you are kind of a thing. there's just not enough Beachbody coaches out there to have to worry about excluding them. Again, unless you're someone like Bonnie or Raina, and you're sick and tired of getting 75 messages a day from people who say, I know I'm not on your team, but I was hoping that I could get into your next coach basics because I really love you and look up to you and I'd like to learn from you. And you're like, dude, I got like a million coaches of my own. I don't have time to mentor you, so I need to exclude you. So you stop messaging me. Anyways, not that they have said that. I'm just saying. Okay. Now here's add a connection type. If you're trying to build up the motivation post to get people to like your page, you want to choose Facebook pages and do exclude people who like your page. If they already like your page, we do not need them to see this post because then we're paying people who already know, like, and trust you to try to get to know you. And then you got to just type your page name in right there. Okay. Now here's the cool thing. You can hit save this audience. And you can name it. That way in the future, if you really like it, you don't have to go through all this crap again. You just go select it. Okay? So I have, if you see up here, right here, see there was a create new or use a saved audience. Here's all of my saved audiences. Notice there's Beachbody coaches included in lots of stuff. Okay? And then I have even my, let's see here, Tulsa entrepreneurs. I decided it wouldn't be too bad if a couple people knew my names that I could maybe help some people locally. Probably the worst idea I've ever had, but whatever. I also have audiences created for people that have been on my webinars and stuff, okay? So you can save the audience and redo it. Here's another thing that Zach teaches. If you're like, dude, I don't know which 4 things, 5 things, 6 things, 7 things, you can run the exact same ad and just pick one of these things and run 5 or 6 of the exact same ad, but towards just one of these things. So you could run this ad towards just Forever 21, run the exact same ad towards just Body Revolution, the exact same ad just toward Kate Hudson, another one just towards Trader Joe's. And then you could see how the results are for each one, and you weed out the ones that don't do very bad and put together the ones that do really good into one ad. Does that make sense? It's a little more complicated, but if you don't know what you're doing, honestly, it's a really good way to find out which things work better for you. I don't personally have to do that because I know my audience well enough, but it would be a really, really, really smart thing for you guys to do. Okay? Now, let me just say this. If I were running a call to action post, remember, I want you to run those toward your like page. Okay? Instead of excluding, we would put people who like your page. Okay? Does that make sense? But for the sake of a motivation, remember, start with the end in mind. We're trying to accumulate new people to the post so that you can get them to like your page. So what we need to do is we need to exclude your page because we're trying to find new people. Okay? Now, always, 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 this is very, 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 very important. I'm saying that to make sure you pay attention. See this part where it says placements? Do you remember how I said Facebook knows everything about you? Everything. Here's the problem. Even though Facebook owns Instagram, Instagram knows nothing about you. Turn that off or your ad will get murdered. Here's why. Have you ever told Instagram your age? Have you ever told Instagram what country you live in? What language you speak? You've never told Instagram anything, which is why people like it, because it's like a more private community, correct? Well, that's great for Instagrammers. It sucks for me as a business owner because Facebook is going to guess at people who like those things and have those ages. It's just going to guess, but it really doesn't know. Here's the other problem. Is in cost per engagement, you get charged every time someone likes or comments. On Instagram, people are double click happy without ever taking the time to read what the heck you said. If you have Instagram turned on, I'm telling you right now, Facebook ads tries to put the money where it's performing the best. If your picture starts getting a ton of double taps on Instagram, it goes, oh, the ad's performing better on Instagram, so we'll put the majority of the money towards the Instagram. Meanwhile, your Facebook, where it actually knows who the heck these people are, is getting none of your money. So it's getting no likes, it's getting no comments, and it's getting horrible engagement. And by the way, How well your ad do has everything to do with how well it organically performs. And what I mean by that is Facebook gives your ad kind of 24 hours to see how people are responding to it. Okay? Facebook does not want our newsfeed filled with things that we don't like. Okay? That's why we all got off MySpace 10 years ago, because it was just full of spam. Facebook loves ads, but it does not love crappy ads. So if no one is liking and commenting on your stuff naturally as they put it up, they don't want you in people's feeds, because that's making people go, gosh, I'm sick and tired of Facebook because it's just full of all this crap. Now, Facebook likes me a lot because you guys like and comment on my stuff like crazy. So it goes, hey, this is what people like to see, so we're going to show it to them even more. So when I get to talking about cost per engagement, your cost per engagement is based on how well your ad performs to the people who see it. In other words, if 75% of people that see your ad click on it, Facebook is actually going to take your cost down because it wants you to show up more. Does that make sense? In the video, if I'm looking at the side of the screen, I apologize. That's where the faces are that I'm trying to talk to. I can actually see two of you. So if it performs well, it'll actually cost you less per engagement, which means even more people see it. And that's why if you come over here, let me get rid of this stupid crap. So if you didn't catch what I was saying, go to Instagram and say, no, thank you. I just want it to go to Facebook. And if you click here, you can choose between, do I want it in the news feed, articles, InstaStream, which this is actually new stuff right here. I've never even seen that stuff before. Some people say you don't want it in the right column, because in the right column, it looks like an ad. It looks spammy. I disagree. Here's why I disagree. Because in the news feed, someone can scroll right past it and never notice it. If I'm in your right column, dude, I'm stuck there for like 15, 20, 30 seconds. You can't scroll past me. I will sit there and stare you in the face until you decide to look at me and see what the heck I have to say. Now, if I have a crappy ad, then sure, I wouldn't want it in the right column, because people are going to look at it and say, oh my gosh, what a schmuck. But if I have a good ad that speaks your language and I look like you and I sound like you and I think like you, I want to be stuck for as long as I can, sitting there just staring at you with my smile, just waiting. I'm just waiting for you to click on me, because I'm going to be here all day, guys. I will literally sit here in your right column all day. And if you give it 5 seconds, it may refresh and it'll probably go to one of my other ads where maybe I changed shirts, but I'm still sitting at the table with my hands crossed. I don't know why, but that picture performs better than all my other ones. So I keep using it, even though it's my least favorite picture. Okay. To be honest, I don't know about these two things because I've literally never seen them before. But what I'm asking you to do is to just consider using the right column. I'm not saying that it's 100%. I'm just saying for me, I like the right column because I'm not as worried about being spammy, because again, it's a motivation post. It's not spammy. Now, if you're trying to sell stuff to your cold audience, maybe it seems spammy, but for me, I'm just trying to be a friendly guy. And I don't want, and if I can get more time in your face for the same amount of money, I'll do it every single time. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Now, back to the whole, if it's doing really well, get the heck out of here. What the heck? What's your problem? Get out of here. Go away. Go away. Why is that thing not going away? I cannot get this little pop-up to go away. Get the frick off my screen. Okay. It's just going to scroll with me, I guess. Okay, whatever. See down here where it says estimated daily results reach? This is telling me what I can reach for what I'm willing to spend each day. Now, here's the thing. Facebook ads, you little schmuck, tries to make you think that $11 is the minimum. If I want, I can put $1. It puts 11 there automatically so that it looks like it starts at 11, and it tricked me the first several times, and then I think Zach was the one that told me. So you can run it for as little as $1 a day. I personally, for experimenting ads to find out how well they're going to perform, I experiment at $5 a day. See that I can reach 370 to 1,200 people a day. If I give that 3 days, I'm guaranteed over 1,000 people to see my ad. That's a really good indicator with 1,000 people of how well the ad actually does. And I will say it does take 2 to 3 days. Do not freak out on day one, okay? Because day one is kind of where it's trying to get that organic reach, okay? How well do people actually like this ad? And if it does well, day 2 and day 3 will do a lot better than day 1 did, because Facebook is going, hey, people really like this Josh guy. So instead of just showing him to 370 people, we're actually going to show him to 1,200 people. Does that make sense? And that's why there's a range there. Because if people hate your guts and don't click on you, Facebook goes, well, we're only going to show that to 370 people. But if you're amazing and awesome and people love you, they may show you to as many as 1,200 people a day for $5 freaking dollars. Tell me where else on the planet for $5 you can have 1,200 people see what you have to say. Is that not crazy? That's why I do Facebook. Also, tell me where else in the world you can tell this specifically who you want to even see your stuff. You guys see why Facebook ads is so powerful? I hope so. If not, I mean, you can hop off the call, whatever, it's cool. Now here's the other important part. Schedule. Run my ad set continuously starting today. I never do this unless it's a post that I'm okay with spending a lot of money on, which for my motivation posts, I do. However, for a lot of you, you're going to want to set a start and end date. Again, Facebook's going to try to trick you because you're going to click on this. You go, oh, I want to run it for 3 days. So you're going to click on this and go to the 11th. Yeah, I'm running it for 3 days. No, you are running it for a month and 3 days because it automatically sets it a month out. So you have to click on this calendar and go up here and go back to the month we're currently in and go to the 11th. Does that make sense? Facebook tries to trick you into running your ad for at least 30 days. The only minimum is 24 hours. You have to run it for at least 24 hours. But that's the only, but if you wanted, you could run an ad for $5 for 24 hours. I don't recommend it. Me personally, when I was experimenting with Facebook ads, I experimented with $5 a day and I would run it 3 days and I would run it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here's why. Because Sunday is the most significant day in social media. Hopefully you guys already know this. That's why we do a coaching opportunity post on Sunday night. Sunday night is the night for ads. Remember how I said there's this thing called like an organic buildup that takes 24 to 48 hours? So I set it up on Friday so it can start building up some likes and comments. Saturday, get some more likes and comments. And then on Sunday, by the third day, it's built up the organic reach that I want. And Facebook says, you know what? I think we should show this to 1,200 people. And on the biggest day of the week, my ad goes to 1,200 people for $5. So if you're going to run it for 3 days, run it on the weekends is what I'm saying. Okay. I'm not saying that you're limited to 3 days. I mean, I run mine a lot longer. Okay. But I'm just trying to give you that option because I know some people are like I was, and you can sacrifice $15 a weekend, but you don't got no $500 to run ads. And I'm just trying to show you can do this on any budget at all. Okay. And it'll show you right here. Your ad will run for 3 days. You'll spend no more than $15. When it hits $15, it's done. It'll shut off. It won't charge you a single penny more. Okay. And here's where there's automatic and manual. You can go in and do manual stuff. To be honest, I don't mess with that. I leave it at automatic. Here's impressions. Do I want more? Here's more options. I can do it on impressions or post engagement, which I keep it on impressions. I want a whole bunch of people to see this. Okay. You can run ads on a schedule. Let's say you're like, here's the thing. I only have $15. But if I could make that last over 5 days instead of 3 days, that would be great. So what you can actually do here is, let's see, trying to think. I think you have, let's see, scheduling is only available with lifetime budgets. Okay, never mind. That's only with lifetime budgets. Sorry, I was thinking you could do that thing. So if you ran it lifetime, which by the way, if you're really, really good at doing things, and like if you're a task person, unlike me, you can set it for lifetime and still turn it off anytime you want. Okay. any of your ads, even if you say I want to run it for 3 days, if you set it up and 2 hours later, you're like, oh, that was stupid, I should do something else, you can go turn it off. You can literally turn your ad off anytime you want. You'll never get charged more than what they had already put toward it. Does that make sense? So if you wanted to do the schedule, you could do run my ad continuously, and you could run ads on a schedule. My freaking goodness, why won't you let me do that? I did create a lifetime budget. Oh, that's why. Sorry, lifetime budget. I can set it to, I've actually never messed with this, to be honest, guys. So let's just play with this. Let's say I set it to $50, and I can run it on a schedule, and I can tell it which times to run. That way it's not running through the night. I will say this, though, and this is why I don't do it. The way Facebook ads work, they're really, really smart. And if no one's clicking in the middle of the night, you're not getting charged anything. So it's really not that big of a deal. Okay? That's just my opinion. Okay? This thing over here, audience size, do me a huge favor and just say, shut the F up. Because if you know your audience, this is, in my opinion, where Facebook doesn't know who the heck we are. Okay? They do know who the heck we are, meaning they know who we like, what we do. They know everything about us. I trust my own marketing skills more than Facebook's marketing skills, if that makes sense. Facebook is saying, you know what? That's too broad of an audience. Okay, guys, I have had Carl Deichler and Team Beachbody selected before, and it said it was too broad of an audience. That's the most specific audience you can possibly have. They don't know what they're talking about. Now, if it's all the way over in the yellow or all the way over in the red, maybe you should think for a second about it. But I'll be honest, I don't pay attention to this because I know what the frick I'm doing. I don't need Facebook to tell. This is, to be honest, this is Facebook's marketing department. Facebook's really, really analytically smart, but sometimes marketing-wise, I don't just, when they give away free webinars and all these opportunities, I have a one-on-one call with them, I'm like, no thanks. Zach knows way more than you do about your own product. I don't need you. Okay, so we continue. This is where we're going to set up the actual ad. Okay, in other words, the freaking thing, we're finally going to get to the part of the thing that we're actually going to post. Okay, the thing that usually takes like 5 seconds, right? Okay, that's the thing that we're finally getting to. Okay, so again, here's what I want you to think about. If we're doing business with people, if we're trying to get people that look like us, think like us, act like us, the picture is important. If I'm targeting a bunch of people, say from Forever 21, I probably don't want to be wearing a business suit and tie, correct? If I'm going after a whole bunch of people who are yogis, who are shopping at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, then I probably want to show that side of me, a more casual side of me. Does that make sense to you guys? So here's the thing about the picture that you pick, which, by the way, you can go up here and you can create new ad, okay? And you can literally pick any picture you want and any content that you want. I personally like to post it to my page first, because if I create a new ad, it forces me to use a wide image. Oh, it pisses me off. See how the dimensions are here? So I can choose this image to crop it. It's going to force me into this wide picture. Does that make sense? And I want to choose whatever size of picture I want. Sometimes I want to use a square one if that's the picture that I really like. Sometimes I want to use a wide one. Sometimes I want to use a tall one. Like, at the end of the day, I just want to use the picture that I like, right? So I like to post it to my page first, and then I can use an existing post. And I can go down here, and it will pull up all of my latest posts on my page. Does that make sense? So I can choose any of these posts that I've put on my page. Now that one's a video, which is why it's got the exclamation mark. So I could go here. I mean, this would be a great motivation post right here. True passion will push you to do something. It can't be contained and it can't be silent. It's a force that keeps you up. See, this is motivation this is what people like to see. It makes them feel good. They go, ooh, I think I'll like that. Now, I probably wouldn't use this picture because it's not very clear. It's kind of blurry and it doesn't show my face very well. You want to show your face. Your face. Okay, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, get over it and start liking it and do some more affirmations. Okay, your face. is the most valuable thing you have for the sake of marketing. Okay. If you're a happy person, put a big fat smile on your face. Okay. If you're a serious, like in your face kind of a person, that's fine. Show that side of you. But you, again, we have one chance to get people to look in our direction. One chance to get them to look. I promise you, they will look before they read. If they like what they see, they'll take the time to read. I should write that down because that rhymed and that was kind of catchy. If they like what they see, they'll take the time to read. Okay? So that's why I use this. There's a picture of me literally, I use it for my Art of Recruiting ads where I'm sitting at a table like this with a big smile on my face. And I don't know why, but it performs better than all of my pictures. So what I've done is just done new photo shoots to at least change my freaking shirt and the scenery behind me and done the exact same pose again. People like it. And I don't know why. My assumption is because I'm a business trainer. My normal self is like really casual and kind of unprofessional. And I think that maybe having a button down and my hands crossed maybe makes me look a little more mature and a little more professional. That's the only thing I can come up with. You can experiment with different pictures though. Okay. Again, I'm going to show you real quick how to create your own post just so that you know how to do it. So this is using an existing post. You select your like page here. If it's not already selected, there's a drop down. I used to manage a bunch of other like pages and I need to get rid of those. And then you can timeline photos. You can choose anything that you've posted to your page, or you can create a new ad. You can pick single image. Again, my computer just got wiped today, so I don't have much on there. So we'll just roll with what's already here. You can pick a picture. Now it'll allow you to pick anything that you have on your computer, of course. You can hit add more images, and you can actually run multiple images if you want. I don't highly suggest it. Let's say you wanted to, sorry, I was downloading pictures from my event this morning. It's all I have on here. That would be a funny picture to use for an ad. There's Mio. Okay, I have nothing, literally nothing. So we'll just roll with the one that's already here. Let's just say I was going to use that picture, okay? And then here's the text. Here's where you would want to say something like, you only get one life. So make sure and live for something you can be proud of. See how easy that is? Now, you don't have to do something so cliche like that. I'm going to literally pull that out of my butt. Let's say, I'm going to give you a couple examples. Let's say you're a mom, and I know there's some dudes on here that are like, bro, do you ever talk to dudes? Well, most of the time I don't, because 99% of you are women, but I'll give a dude example here in a second, I promise. Let's say you're a mom, and you're trying to target specifically other moms, okay? But we also want to throw a health and fitness twist, because we want to attract people to our page that are at least interested in health and fitness, correct? If they're not even interested, I mean, we're going to have a real hard time selling to them. So you might say something like, invest in your health. It's the best thing you can do for your life, for your spouse, for your kids. And then you could put something like, take care of yourself so you can take care of everyone else. Or you could even say, take care of yourself first. Now, see how I'm speaking to women, to moms, about the things I know they value. Let's face it, I know moms have a way easier time taking care of their spouse and their kids than they do taking care of themselves. Correct? That's why Beachbody is so big, because we had a whole bunch of people who didn't take care of themselves, myself included, because we were too focused on taking care of family, right? So what I'm doing is I'm kind of planting a seed and about health and fitness, but also saying, hey, that's the best thing you can do for your family. And people who have the same mindset, people who think like you, which is, I need to do something for me to take care of us. Now you're attracting those people to your page. Let's say I'm going to use a couple examples. And again, guys, you can go look up motivational quotes. You can literally Google motivational quotes and find a quote that kind of goes with your brand and kind of what you represent. Okay. But let's say you really, 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 really want to attract more people to your page that have kind of like, have more of like a business mentality. Okay. I'm always trying to connect. What are the words that I can use that don't necessarily push me, but give me a like interest? When I think business, I think purpose. I think goals. I think self-improvement. Pick any of those things and come up with some type of a quote that speaks that language. So for instance, if you're like, dude, I really want to attract a whole bunch of people to my page who just want to crush their goals and chase their dreams. Okay, what just came out of my mouth? What just came out of my mouth? Sometimes literally we just need to shut up and listen to ourselves. I just said I want to attract people who want to crush their goals and chase their dreams. Okay, if those are the two things they want to do, why would I not just speak that language? Crushing goals, chasing dreams. Is there a quote that has something to do with chasing goals? Crushing goals or chasing dreams? Crushing goals. We could say something like, goals weren't, here we go. I'm going rhino on you guys. Some of you rhinos will dig this. Meant to be reached. They were meant to be crushed. And then literally you have a picture of yourself as a mom. Maybe you're like holding a dumbbell. Maybe it doesn't have to be health and fitness. You could totally be, I don't know, you could just do some like fun, like confident pose. Shoot. Oh crap, I'm sorry. Your name just slipped my mind and I know you're on this call and I feel so bad. Forgive me. I promise I love you and I met you at my event and you did the freaking splits for a picture in the photo booth and I don't know why your name just slipped my mind. Forgive me. I love you. I promise I'll message you when this is over and give you a personal apology. She's a freaking BA. She's been killing it in my groups and she did a picture of herself at my photo booth, at my event. She literally jumped up and did the splits, and it's the most BA picture I've ever seen in my life. And if she ran that picture with those words, I'm telling you, she would attract a bunch of freaking rock stars. She's probably in the chat thread right now telling me what an idiot I am for forgetting her name. Okay, that's one for goals. But did you see how easy that was? Now, of course, you could also go, I know a chat just showed up, but I can't see it because I'm in share screen. You could also go, again, Google motivational quotes about goals, and I promise 1,000 things would come up. Or let's say dreams. This is one of my favorites, guys, and this is a quote. I'm quoting myself right now. I hope that's not too douchey. Never tell your kids to chase the stars if you aren't willing to do the same. Now, what did I do? I just spoke to a bunch of moms or dads, either one, that have a dream, that want to chase that dream, but they haven't. And now I'm hitting their pain point. And they're going, dang, they're right. And they like that. Go-getters, let me just say this, guys. This is total side note. Has nothing to do with ads. Go-getters like to be called out on their crap. When I changed over my name from life coach to push coach, I lost some clients, but I gained the most valuable clients. Some people stopped doing my training groups, but to be honest, my sales actually went up. They didn't go down. Are there some people who don't want to be in my training groups anymore because they don't like being yelled at? I'm sure there are. But my sales have gone up since I started getting real with people and saying, hey, this is hard, by the way, and you have to work hard, and it's not always fun, but it's worth it. By the way, if you're going to go hard on people, you have to remind them of the rewards. I'm just saying. Some of you could definitely use some more rhinos on your team. track all conversions from my Facebook pixel. This is where I'm allowing Facebook to track all of the people. You may not need this now, but go ahead and do it anyways for the future. Okay? Because when you do start getting freemiums, when you do start running webinars, when you do start doing the full-blown Chalene Johnson kind of style business, you will have accumulated all of the people that have ever visited, that have ever basically clicked on one of your ads. Literally, Facebook is collecting them all into a pool for you to retarget them. Okay? Now, I can finally place my order. I can finally be done. I know that seemed really, 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 really intense, but I set up an ad in like 5 minutes. Okay? It was just really intense because I was going ridiculously in depth on every little thing that I clicked on, so that you would have a 100% understanding of every little piece of that formula. But I'm telling you, once you get in there and do it once, the first time will take you 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. The second time, maybe take 10 or 15 minutes. The third time, maybe 10 minutes. After that, literally once you get the target set up and you can just go to your saved audience, I'm telling you guys, it takes 5 minutes. Okay? In about 30 minutes, I can set up 7 or 8 ads for my webinar. It's really, really, really simple. It's just that there's a lot of stuff involved that I wanted to make sure you understood. Okay? So let's pause for a sec. Let's pause for a sec. And first of all, see whose name I butchered. Dang it. And I almost said that, but I was just so scared to say the wrong name, because let's face it, it's worse to call someone the wrong name than it is. But here's what I can't remember is how to pronounce it. Is it Yolanda or Yolanda? I'm pretty sure it's Yolanda. Gosh dang it. I'm sorry. I promise. In my head, I was literally thinking that name, and I almost said it, and I was like, no, dude. There's nothing worse than being called the wrong name. Okay. So anyways, let's pause for a second. I know that's getting kind of late, especially on the East Coast. Again, I'm sorry. I really, really, really am that this is going to go late. I do have some more stuff that I want to show you, but I want to give you a chance while this part at least is fresh on your brain to ask a few questions. So let's keep it in the chat, just to make it easier so we don't have to unmute a whole bunch of people and stuff. If you have a question about what we just ran through, ask it now while this is all still fresh on our brain, and it'll be really, really easy for me to just hop back in that ad and show you. Okay? Any questions? Any questions? I'm sorry, Yolanda. I owe you a really big hug at next year's event. How long do you recommend for video ads? Good question. So for video ads, I would recommend 2 to 5 minutes. Okay. Now, you may see some ads run by me that are like 20 to 30 minute videos. Here's the thing though, you got to remember, I'm a public speaker. That's what I do for a living. So sometimes I'll go live for 20 to 30 minutes, which by the way, is a great ad to run. If you go live on your like page, that's a great ad to run. Facebook loves live videos. They love to promote live videos. So if I go live on my like page, I'll usually throw like $100 at it and run it for like 3 days just to like pick up and make sure a ton of people see it. But again, I'm a motivational speaker. I hate that word. That's what people come to me for. People don't follow most of you for motivational speeches, if that makes sense. Okay. What was the name of the Facebook app? On my phone, it's just called Facebook Ads is literally all it's called. And it's got I wish I could show you the logo. It's that logo right there. And then it of course. So it's white with like a blue turquoise circle and a little triangle in it. On my phone, it's just called Facebook Ads. That's it. Missed the third step. Motivational posts run free to. Oh, okay. I think you actually just mixed 2 of the things. So it was first we do a motivation post to get people to our page. 2, we want to connect with them. So we want to run some type of a free group ad or some type of a live, if you go live on your Facebook page and run that towards your whole like page, because let's face it, that's the best way to get to know you, correct? Is to see a video of you talking about whatever it is that you're big on, okay? And then the third thing was a call to action, okay? So you just kind of, you have 2 should be separated into run free, and then 3 should be an actual call to action for a paid group. Does that make sense? So remember, we're trying to get them from warm to cold. Then we're trying to get them to actually like know us and like us and trust us. And then we're trying to close the deal. So it's a three steps. Okay. Any other questions? I need to add that in here to my own notes. Videos. Is everybody good? I don't see many questions. Either I explained it really well and you have no questions, or I explained it so terribly that it all went over your head. Can you guys just give me a little bit of feedback? Thanks, Karen. Do you guys feel like you have a good grasp on that? How about using TV shows? 100% you can use TV shows, yes. The only problem with TV shows, I watch Walking Dead, and there's probably millions of other people who watch Walking Dead who have literally no common values with me whatsoever. We just all freaking love Rick. But that doesn't mean we look the same. It doesn't mean we think the same. It doesn't mean we act the same. That's the only problem with TV shows. Unless you go with something really, really, really specific, like maybe a show that actually does cater toward a specific type of people, if that makes sense. And I can't think of any because, to be honest, I just don't really watch TV other than, like, literally The Walking Dead is my only show I watch. Like, that's it. Other than that, I watch sports. So if you have a show that you watch, let's say something that's based around fashion, let's say something that's something similar to that. But even think about, I don't know what the heck this is, but because I have a bunch of friends that are Beachbody coaches, I see millions of posts about This Is Us. Don't know what the frick it is. Don't care what the frick it is. But let's face it, I have seen every kind of girl from every kind of age with every type of fashion sense, and you all like This Is Us. Doesn't mean any of you have anything in common. Okay? So think about that. Right column on, but Instagram off. Correct. Instagram off, oh gosh, is like something you just have to like make a mental note. I still forget sometimes. And I'll go to Instagram and check my notifications, and I have 100 notifications, and I'm like, F. I accidentally ran an ad to Instagram. So you can go back in and edit, okay? You can go back in and edit it. And honestly, the easiest way to edit it is on the app. I swear it's so freaking easy. But I'll show you real quick how to edit it on your computer just so you guys will know. It's super easy, and you may just need to see it. Beverly Hills Housewives. That's awesome. I'm just not confident that Beverly Hills Housewives is going to have anything in common other than it's just a bunch of housewives. And that's just a really vague group of people. I mean, it really, really is. It's really vague. Karen, yes, you do just need to do an ad and just play with it, okay? Don't go too owl on this. I'm actually listening to an old school audiobook. I'm going to drop this in here for you guys. I don't think this will be in the recording. But his name is Maxwell Maltz. Maxwell Maltz, Maltz. And this is the guy that the president of the John Maxwell team, his name's Paul Martinelli, that I talk about all the time. This is a guy that he used to listen to way back in the day. So he's like father time of personal development. If you go into your iTunes, if you have an iPhone or if you have a Mac or just iTunes on your computer or whatever, Master the Magic Power of Self-Image. So legit if you can handle his 18th century voice, for lack of better words. So freaking good. there was a point that I was going to make because of that. Oh, sorry. What Karen said. She said, I just need to do it now so I can play with it. One of the things that he says that I absolutely love is that basically the person who makes no mistakes is the person who never learns and never succeeds. And here's the problem. I love you, owls. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. But your natural wiring is to try to understand all of the details before you do. And the problem with that is you'll never know all of them. And you'll never do. You've got to learn. I'm a peacock. Okay. I'm a peacock. I do and don't think. I had to learn how to think. Okay. None of us have an excuse for our weakness. Okay. I'm a peacock. I'm scatterbrained. There's a reason I teach you guys how to basically set this whole checklist thing, because that's what I had to force myself as a peacock to do, because that was my weakness, as I was just all over the place. I had to force myself to be intentional. Owls, something you're going to have to force yourself to do is act now and learn as you go. It's got to be one of the hardest things for you to do, but I promise you, it is the most important thing you can do on your growth journey and as an entrepreneur is to act before you know it. Because you won't know it until you act. I could literally give you 75 hours worth of Facebook ads content and you still wouldn't know it all unless you just dove in and started messing with it yourself. Okay? Easiest way to see your posts when they are running to see comments and likes. Megan, the easiest way for me at least is to just go to my like page and go to my notifications. Just go to my like page, hit notifications. It's going to pull up all of your recent notifications. And obviously, is pages the same? I'm not sure what that question means. Is pages the same as what? If you're talking about the app, the Pages app is not the same as the Facebook Ads app. It's completely different. The Facebook Page app is just where you manage the page. It's where you can create posts. It's where you can check your notifications and do your messages. But the Facebook Ads app is where you can tweak your ads and check on the performance of your ads. You can't do anything with your ads on the Pages app other than just see the notifications that are showing up and comment and message those people. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Which reminds me, call to action, like page, something I need to walk you I have set up, but I also need to walk you through how to message, which is the easiest thing in the world. But sometimes I just don't think of things I need to show you. If you've never done this before, you may not even know how to message someone that comments on your ad. Super easy, but I need to make sure I do that. Okay. On Apple App Store, it's called Facebook Ads Manager. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate it. Thank you. And if you have an Android, just go get an iPhone already. I'm just kidding. You guys know I'm an Apple snob. If you follow me at all, you know I'm a coffee snob and an Apple snob. Okay, same on Android. Okay. I'll forget Laura. I'm pretending you found that out from a friend, Laura, okay? All right, so let's move on. And let's go over a couple ways to do this connecting part. So now we've got a motivation post, okay? And we're bringing in a whole bunch of people. Now here's the most important part of this motivation post is that you go in regularly and invite the people liking your post to like your page. The more recently that they saw your post, the more likely they are to remember who the heck you are, correct? But remember, the whole point is to build up this page, okay? Now, once we get people to the page, now we want to connect with them. Now, here's where I need to explain something to you. Some of you think that posting every single day on your like page is connecting with people on your page, and it's not. Remember what I told you earlier. Facebook fills our news feed with things we like. Like pages are almost not even existent in the Facebook algorithm, and here's why. Because if everyone saw posts every single day from all of the pages they like, let's face it, all of us that have like pages are trying to sell something. Your news feed would look like a freaking marketplace Facebook is trying to avoid that. When you get on your computer or your phone or whatever your device you're using, Facebook wants you to see your best friends. They want you to see all the stuff you like. If you're a Republican, you're going to see a whole bunch of Republicans' feeds because that's the people you've interacted with. If you're a Democrat, you're going to see a whole bunch of Democrats' posts because that's the people you interact with. If you're Josh Coates and you stay 100% completely neutral on Facebook because politics are absolute BS on social media, you get a whole lot of really stupid people's opinions just all over the place because you didn't take the time to like or comment on anybody, so they just all show up. Whatever. My point is, Facebook fills your feed with what you like, and they know you don't like to be sold to. So like pages don't show up at all. Like even with me having 21,000 people that like my page, a really good post will get 24 likes. On my personal page, this morning I posted trying to figure out if I have enough balls to go live on Facebook tomorrow and do my entire pre-workout routine with rock concert, air guitar included. I'm trying to figure out if I have the balls to go live and do that on Facebook. Give me 100 likes and I'll do it. Guys, come on. You know I'm smart. I don't mind going live on Facebook. I just knew if I said that, everyone would like it. Now I'm boosted. My algorithm, people are seeing everything that I'm doing now. I do stuff like this on purpose, okay? It got 100 likes in like 2 hours. If I said the same thing on my like page, I'd be willing to bet 100 people wouldn't even see it, okay? So I'm not saying to stop posting on your like page. I try to post on there once a day to be intentional so that the people who see my ads and go look at my page don't see a big ghost town. Like, you're not going to spend $300 on a training from a guy who hasn't posted in 6 months on social media that's trying to teach you how to grow a business on social media, correct? So I have one intentional post every day, but that's not connecting with my like page. Here's how you connect with your like page is number one, boosting posts. Someone just asked, what's the difference between a boost and an ad? A boost is an ad. It's the exact, a boost is literally running the boost engagement ad that I just taught you how to run. Except when you hit boost post, it doesn't run you through the whole ads manager and allow you to choose the audience and all that stuff, because it's kind of a quicker way to run something simple that's going to an already defined audience like your like page. It's a really simple, easy way. One of the things that I do on a regular basis that I need to actually do more is I will go live on my like page and I will talk about a topic that I know my audience loves. Now, I'm a business trainer. People who are following me love to get business advice. So I will do some type of a go live on my like page, which, by the way, when I go live on my like page, I always announce it on my personal page because that's where people see stuff. So I'll say on my personal page, I'll say, I'm going live in 15 minutes to talk to you about how to grow your business from scratch. I just made that up, but I'll include the topic so that it catches eyes, okay? I'll go live on my like page and I'll talk about a hot topic, okay? So I want you to think about this. What's a hot topic to your brand, to your followers, okay? This does not have to be health and fitness related. This does not have to be business related. It's just a hot topic that isn't contrary to health and fitness, isn't contrary to the business. In other words, it has shared values. So let's say, here's a great example, guys. A couple weeks ago, if you're watching this recorded, it may have been a couple months ago, could have been whatever. Starbucks released a Frappuccino called the Unicorn Frappuccino, right? Is that right? What the heck was it? Was it a unicorn? Yeah, okay. Unicorn Frappuccino. There was so much talk about this. Now, whether you like it or hate it, who cares? It's a hot topic. If you go live and say taste test Unicorn Frappuccino, everyone that hasn't made it to Starbucks yet to try it is going to want to hop on to see what you thought of it. Okay? Same as the boost engagement posts that I told you about. Those are also really, really great ideas for going live on your like page because, again, they're things that we know people get engaged for. It doesn't have to be, let me give you 7 tips on clean eating. Guys, can we just be real for a sec? Can Josh, can normal motivational push coach Josh come out for a second in the middle of this analytical party? No one gives a frick about your meal tips. They don't. No one cares. Nobody knows what clean eating is except for us. Nobody even knows what that means. Clean eating? Are you kidding me right now? I don't remember ever before getting into health and fitness sitting around going, you know what? I just don't feel as healthy as I used to when I was younger. I should probably look into clean eating. That wasn't in my terminology at all. Now, there are some people who have a brand around it. That's totally different. My good friend Sarah Try, she is a foodie to the max, okay? She went through, I forget what it's called, She went through basically the holistic health coach certification thing. She is like 100% local, organic. I mean, that's literally her brand. So she talks about stuff like that. But for 98% of you, clean eating is not your brand and it's not what you even care about. It's something you do because you know you need to. I want you to think about, what are the things people that follow you interested in? What do they want to talk about? And how can you put a health and fitness spin on it? So you might go live to talk about my first taste of the unicorn frappuccino. Why? Because people just like that. It's fun, right? Who cares? Go buy a unicorn frappuccino. Who cares? Drink the stupid thing and give them your honest opinion. To be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I thought this was going to be, look at the thing and make a big deal out of it. Okay, this is where you got to let your peacock out if you're going live. This thing's purple. It's turquoise. I'm a freaking mermaid, so I thought I would love the unicorn frappuccino. But to be honest, I just don't even really like it that much. Like I was hoping, I thought I'd like it. It sounds fun. It sounds interesting, but it's just not really that good. And then I went and Googled it and I was like, holy crap, this thing has 95,000 grams of sugar. I can't believe I just put this in my mouth. Now don't get hateful. Please, 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 please don't get hateful. You know what I mean? Act like it really is a surprise. I can't believe this has that much sugar in it. Guys, I'm a little honestly disappointed that this thing I thought was going to be amazing with that much sugar even doesn't really taste that good. I mean, if you're going to put 95,000 grams of sugar, it better taste really freaking, if I'm going to have that kind of a cheat, it better taste really good. So, I mean, whatever. I guess I'll just go back to drinking my superfood shake smoothie and literally just end it there. Don't try to sell nothing. Don't try to do whatever. Just put a little twist on it. And then run that thing as an ad to your like page. And now all of the people that already follow you, that already like you, get a chance to interact with you, get a chance to see your personality. Now, you can give some tips. I'm not saying you can't give tips, but remember to give tips that your people value. So your tips could be how to squeeze in a workout in between blah, blah, blah. To be honest, I don't think that that's a great hot topic. I would rather hear something like, I'd rather hear, to be honest, something about self-love. I'd rather hear you go live and get honest and vulnerable with people and talk about the fact that you're a little disappointed in yourself that you put on 5 pounds last month, but you're learning to love yourself and you're learning to love your journey. Or I'd rather hear you go live and talk about why fitness is such a huge part of being a mom. And just be real and authentic with people and talk about fitness, but not from a fitness side. Not, let me give you the 3 things that everyone gets wrong when they do a push-up. Nobody freaking cares. They're not even doing push-ups. They don't care. They're not doing push-ups. How about instead, why health and fitness has made me a better mom? Or how about this? Here's what people really, I love controversial topics. So what you could say is why it's so hard to be healthy as a mom. and you literally spend the first 3 or 4 minutes talking about it's hard because we're on the go. We have this going on. Sometimes it is expensive. Sometimes blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I've been doing this for 2 or 3 years now, and I don't regret it for a single minute. I remember when I didn't like what I saw when I looked in the mirror. I remember how hard it was to go clothing shopping. And to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, the hard of not being healthy is way harder than the hard of being healthy. I'm so thankful that I decided to take charge of my health and fitness. At the end of the day, it is hard. It's hard to be a healthy mom, but it's also one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Why don't you guys comment below with why it's hard for you to be healthy as a mom? I want to hear. I just want honest opinions. I just want you to comment below. See how I'm getting people to engage without like, do you want to join my challenge group? We're going to get blah, 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 blah. Just comment below and just share. Let's just share our struggles. Just share with me some of your top struggles being healthy as a mom. Here's what you've done. Number one, you just got the opportunity to learn a bunch of opinions that you can then use in future posts. If they say time, well, we know how to, that's one of the objections we're going to have to do. If they say money, okay, let's make a post about how it actually is cheaper in the long run. See how I'm just getting fuel for future ads and future posts. But now you have a way to strike up a conversation with these people and chat about their struggles. And you can message them and say, hey man, I saw your struggle about the time thing. That's something I've struggled with so much too. Would you mind if I gave you a few tips on how how you've now started a conversation with people? Okay, so one thing you do is run a video. Let's share screen here for a second. No, I do not want to update my computer right now. That would suck if I accidentally clicked that. Jeez. Share screen. And I'm just going to show you this real quick because I already showed you all the targeting, all of that crap, okay? So let's go actually back. Let's go completely back to campaign. And this time, here's a couple things you can do. Again, you can do engagement to try to get post engagement, or for this one, you could do video views because I just want to get a crap ton of people to view this. Shorter videos get more completed views. Thanks so much for your input there, Facebook. I appreciate that. We're going to call this one Why It's So Hard. Gosh, to type. To live a healthy life. I'm making something up for you guys, okay? So don't try to steal that one because that's horrible. And then here's the thing. If we're going to target our like page, all of this becomes so much easier. Do we want to tweak some of this? Yes. We still want to make sure they live somewhere where they can purchase from us. We may want to weed out the ages, okay? But honestly, I'm a little less concerned about the age because if they've already taken the time to like my page, they probably already kind of like what I have to offer, right? So now I can actually expand it out a little bit for me personally. Men or women at the same, again, they liked my page. Now I may do women if you're a chick and you don't want a bunch of creepers who have found your page and liked it, whatever. But at the end of the day, none of this matters as much now. Obviously, we want them to speak the same language. But for detailed targeting, I don't really care anymore because at the end of the day, I'm just going to target people who like my page. And if I've been doing a really good job with my motivation posts and getting a crap ton of new people to my page who already like me, right? They like the way I look, or they wouldn't have even looked at the stupid thing that I had posted. They liked what I had to say, right? So now I don't have to get all crazy with all of this detailed targeting because I've already got this tiny little pool to fish out of. For me right now, I'm looking at, 14,000 people. That's a really good pool to work with, right? I've already got the right people. Again, I got to edit those stupid placements. Freaking A, get off there, Instagram. And then I can just set my budget. And here's the thing, for $5 a day. Let's set a start and end date. And let's set it up for, again, 3 days, just showing you what 3 days looks like. You're more than welcome to run it longer. I'm going to spend 15. I just want to show you the power of this, okay? I'm going to spend $15 so that 320 to 850 people can see a video that have already liked my page. Now, if I run this video just straight to my page without using an ad, maybe I'm lucky if 100 people see it. Instead, people on my like page who are already my people, I'm going to get 320 to 850 of them to see this video. If I want to run it, let's go for week and a half. Oh, okay. This is just daily. Sorry, that's the daily. The daily isn't going to change. So basically for $5, for every $5 I spend, 850 people could potentially see that video. Okay, does that make sense? For $15, as many as 2,400 people, really it's 2,550, 2,550 people could see my video for $15. Now, if I do that once a week, okay, a lot of you only have 2,500 people on your like page, okay? If I do that once a week or even just once a month, I can basically see to it that my entire like page is getting to have this connection with me and see me on camera and hear about topics that I'm discussing. Does that make sense? Again, we're going to continue here. We are going to choose the video, upload a video, or use one from your library is what you're going to want to do right here. Just click that. And then you're going to go in and pick a video. I don't even have any videos on my computer right now, which is kind of crazy because usually there's millions, okay? And then same thing down here. Track all conversions from my pixel. Add a website or URL. You don't really need to do that for this. Text. Again, you can just say something super, super simple about what you're going to say. Don't do no 8 paragraphs here. Just do like literally like one sentence that points out what you're talking about. Okay? And then place order. Easy peasy. Okay? Now, let's do one for a free group. Okay? Free groups are such an easy way to get people in. And to be honest, you can run ads for free groups towards your cold audience as well. Because at the end of the day, it's free. Cold audience are way more likely to respond to something for free. So for your free groups, you can run these towards your cold market or your warm market. Either one, they work both ways. Of course, they're going to perform better towards your warm market. But if you're someone who says, I don't have a very big warm market yet, I only got like 500 people on my like page, you can totally run this to your cold market, and anything that's free is always okay to send to your cold market, okay? So again, engagement, post engagement, continue. I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker, okay? Because you guys already know all this audience. It's the exact same thing I taught you from the very first one. Your audience doesn't really change because we're targeting the same people, correct? If you're going to go towards your like page, we're going to go to people who like your page. If you want to go to your cold audience, then you're going to exclude people who like your page, okay? You could go to friends of people who like your page. To be honest, I don't use that very much, but that's because I'm targeting Beachbody coaches, and your friends aren't usually Beachbody coaches. So I'm not trying to target your friends. For you guys, that may be an okay thing to do. But what really just matters is am I going toward warm audience or cold audience? Warm, cold, warm, cold, okay? Edit placements, get away Instagram. We hate your guts until Alexis teaches us tomorrow how to rock it. Daily budget, again, set it to whatever you want, okay? This is the part that I want to help you out with, is that we are going to create a new ad or use one you've already put on your page. But I just want to walk you through the wording is what I want to do. That's the main thing with a free group. I just want to get to the wording. I know we're getting really late here, and I apologize. I promise this will be worth your time, okay? Let's say we're just going to use this picture because I don't have much on my computer right now. But if this were a free group, I'd want your picture to, number one, just be a fun, bright picture of yourself. Or two, if it's something really specific, like a meal prep group or something like that, a picture that can have something to do with what you're doing. But it still needs to have you. Okay? It's got to have you. Remember, your face is the biggest thing that draws attention, not food containers. Okay? If you want to have food containers on the counter, that's totally fine, but your face sells. Okay? Now, for the text part, let's say you're running a free group, and let's just say I'm going to make up kind of a language here, not saying that this should be your language, but let's say the whole point, the main point between this free group is helping people slim down for Memorial Day. Okay? I'm just making that up. You could have any type of free group going. Let's say it's a slim down for Memorial Day kind of a thing. All you're going to want to do is keep this. Remember, it's free. It's super free. So it's, I would say something like free slim down for Memorial Day. When it's free, I like to open with the fact that it's free, because it automatically makes people go, oh, okay. In other words, it automatically drops their guards. Like, it's free. Okay. When I say I have something free to offer you, you're no longer skeptical about who I am. Does that make sense? I was hanging out with my buddy at a bar a couple nights ago, and we were just talking to some people that were there. We were hanging out and having a good time. And then they asked me what I did for a living, and I mentioned what I do. And then for some reason, they were asking who it is that buys from me. And I mentioned Beachbody coaches. For some reason, they got mixed up and could not get it out of their head because they thought I was a Beachbody coach. And I kid you not, the second they thought I was a Beachbody coach, which I still can't figure out how they got so confused, they literally started insulting me. They didn't want to have anything to do with me. And it was like literally a switch like that turned. Why? Because they thought that I was only talking to them to try to make a sale. As many times as I told them, trust me, the last thing on my mind tonight is making a sale. I've got thousands of dollars showing up while I'm drinking this beer. I don't need to sell you anything. I'm just here to, it didn't matter what I said. They couldn't get it out of their head. And it was like the rest of the night was so weird. Me and my buddy ended up leaving. We're like, this is dumb. When people think you're selling, that's why we don't want to try to sell to our cold audience. They put up a front. The second we say free, the front's gone. If I would have said, I'm a Beachbody coach, however, I got this free product that I'm just handing out tonight. I'm just giving it to everyone. They'd have been my best friend, right? Because people love free stuff, correct? So free slim down for Memorial Day. We're just going to keep it simple when it's free, okay? Could you use, or how about this? I'll be sharing my simple, we want to use words like simple. It's not easy, but it's simple, okay? Never use words like easy because none of this crap is easy, but it is simple, okay? I'll be sharing my simple step-by-step way to lose up to 10 pounds. And you can change that. I'm just kind of making up that part. In 5 days. Oops. Using a simple meal plan and exercising 15 minutes a day. I'm assuming that in your free groups, you don't do full-blown workouts, but I am just making that assumption. You can change that. I'm not giving you a formula for how to run your free groups. Megan will do that for you. I'm just giving you some wording. Okay? Comment below if you want to feel great for the holidays, and I'll get you added to the group. See how easy that was? Super, super simple. Free. It's free. The next thing that's important is that you let them know what it includes, but that it's simple. Step by step. Those are words from Zach Spuckler. The word step by step put people at ease and make them feel like you have something that you're literally going to walk them through, which you do. All of you have a step-by-step process. That's what all of your groups that you run are step-by-step, okay? Now, while we are here, I'm going to teach you how to do a call to action post. for a paid group, because I do believe it's a little more complicated when we're trying to get people to spend money, because when we're trying to get people to spend money, I need to hit their pain point. Okay, so I'm going to give you the formula that I actually learned from Zach. You guys are hearing me mention Zach a lot because he really is like the Facebook ads like man. So if you're one of those people, you're ready to like go all in and like really, really, really run this crap, check out his training. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that. Okay. Step 1. And I'm going to literally type this out for you. Point to their pain. Number 1, you got to point to their pain. Number 2, and I'll show you how here in a second. Tell them you have a step-by-step process. Oops, sorry. That was supposed to be point 3. Cross that out and just put a 3 next to it. Number 2 is you want to give your credentials. I'm using credentials for lack of a better term. We're not going to say, I'm a health fitness coach, blah, blah, blah. This is where you give, credibility would be a better word. Credibility. 3, that's when we want to say step-by-step process. And 4, invite. Okay? Those are the 4 steps that I use for pretty much every single call to action ad that I run. I use the same steps over and over and over and over. So let me show you what that looks like. And let me teach you the spacing, because the spacing is really important. Another thing that I learned from Zach, guys, everything I know. Seriously, I learned from Zach. When you're typing up paragraphs, see how I double entered in between them? There's something about double entering that's easier on the eyes. And even if it's a long post, it feels like a short read. If it's one big, huge paragraph, it looks intimidating and it looks like it's a big read, even if it's the same amount of words. There's something about the double spacing like that that makes it feel like it's just several short little sentences instead of one big, huge chunk. Okay? So number 1, point to your pain. This is where I say, are you a Beachbody coach struggling to recruit coaches? This is where you might say, now, here's the weird thing. You can't say, are you a mom? You can't say, are you a woman? You can't say, are you a wife? If you want to pinpoint the fact that you're speaking to specifically moms or specifically wives, instead you have to say, as a mom, I struggled with. As a mom, I struggled with insecurity and doubt because of the way I felt in my own body. Anyone ever felt that way before? Number 1 sentence, we are calling them out on their pain. And we know their pain because we have had it before. Does that make sense? You should be calling out to a pain that you have already experienced. It should be the greatest pain you have in your life. And that's why we're calling out to those people, because those are the people that we're going to connect with. I said this, I believe, in the old art of recruiting. If you fail to find their pain, you will fail to get paid. Sales 101 is find people's pain. Okay? Now, we're going to give your credibility. As a mom, I struggled with insecurity and doubt because of the way I felt in my own body. Over the last few years, I have been able to completely change the person I see in the mirror and the person I believe in on the inside. Step-by-step process, so important, because I have seen 1,000 different ways to lose weight, and I've tried 5,000 other ways, and none of them have worked for me. I want to share with you my step-by-step process on how I lost 20 pounds. And I'm going to put and, because what I'm trying to do here, if you didn't catch it, is focus on the outside and inside transformation. You can go one or the other. I'm not saying this is the right way. This is just the way my brain works. I want to show you my step-by-step process on how I lost 20 pounds and became incredibly happy with the person I am. If you are ready to make a change, comment below and I will get you the deets. Now again, this is don't you correct me. It's deets. It's a word. I work with women, okay? Just chill out. Go away. So here's the thing. This one you're running toward your like page, okay? Toward your like page. And that's a post for an upcoming challenge group, okay? Here's how you could easily do an ad for your upcoming. Everyone, you've got this recorded. You can screenshot it if you want it. You can type it out. Again, put it in your own words. But number one, we point to the pain. If we're pointing to a specific pain for moms or for women, we have to put it in our own words of the pain that we personally had, okay? Then we give ourselves credibility. In other words, that's what we have been able to do and what we have become. We have a step-by-step process. Are you ready? Okay, that simple. Now, here's the other cool thing. Let's say you have a what is coaching call. I'm not a huge fan of the wording, what is coaching, but a lot of people do it and it works for them. Micah Folsom uses it. She rocks it. It's cool. I'm not going to tell you to change something that works, okay? For this, have you been watching my journey from afar and wondered what it's like to wake up every day and make a positive change in the world? This Sunday, I'm doing a free, no hassle, no gimmick. That just makes people feel better when you say it. Sneak peek, I'm just going to say it that way, into what I do as a coach. I'll give you the full rundown that makes people feel safe, that you're going to tell them all the details. We're not just going to give you a couple of details and hide the rest. We'll give you all the details. I'll give you the full rundown on how I make money, how I run my business, and more importantly, how it still gives me time to be with my family. Something like that. Comment below and I'll get you the link or whatever it is that you're doing, the link to the event or add them to the group, whatever the heck that looks like. Okay? That's how simple it is. So simple. Another thing you can do is literally take whatever you would normally post on your Instagram page, whatever you would normally post on your personal page, but run it as an ad toward your like page. Does that make sense? Now, someone asked earlier, what about boosting a post? What is that? Boosting a post is something that you could literally do. It's the same thing. When I go up here and I click use existing post and I choose one of these posts, that is pretty much the same thing as boosting a post, except with boosting a post, you didn't have to go through all of this stuff. Now, that's good and bad. It's bad because you can't get as specific about who you want to talk to, but If you have already done some of this stuff, it's not that big of a deal because you can just hit boost post and choose Beachbody Coaches on my like page and then just run it without having to go through all this other stuff. Okay? The reason I'm not really walking you through how to do the boost post is because at the end of the day, it's the most simple thing on the planet. If you're in your Pages app on your phone, or if you're on your like page on your computer, here, I'll show you real quick. Did that just switch over to my other screen? To my other folder? Okay, good. Thank you. You're the best. I should be able to go to be honest, I never do it from my computer. I'm hoping that this works because I always do it from my phone if I do it. I should be able to go to a post. Boom, right there. Boost post, which, I mean, that's literally just a picture. But here, let's take this post. I hit boost post. And it's going to skip all of those other steps and just let me pick a saved audience that I already have, okay? And then put in my budget and then put in my time. Super, super, super easy. If you're just running something toward your like page and it's a post that you've already created, it's just a more simple way to do it than the long drawn out version that I just showed you. So I'm glad someone asked that because this is a nice thing to have at your hand when you're doing just some simple. If you do your video where you go live, let's see, I went live and I actually did this. Cancel. Actually went live, I don't know, a couple days ago. Blue, 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 blue. Right there. Working versus living. I went live and then I did exactly that. I just hit boost post and I put if I remember right, I put Beachbody Coaches because that's one of the saved things that I have. And it reached 10,800 people. I got 4.2 thousand views. And if I wouldn't have boosted the post, it would have probably got 200 or 300 views, to be honest. Okay. So that's what I did when I have something that's not as specific that I know is super easy. I'm just going after my like page. I'm just going after a saved audience. I'll hit boost post and do it that way. Okay. But I wanted you guys to know the real way and the right way because when you're getting started, you don't have saved audiences yet. And you got to figure out how to go create those audiences to find which audiences work so that you can save them. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you real quick. If someone likes one of your ads, this is what my assistant does, okay? Goes to my notifications. This is one of my call to action. This is my art of recruiting, or no, this is my health bet, sorry. This is my health bet with the same picture as my art of recruiting, but in a different shirt with a different background, okay? What if there was a health bet for your biz? Now, I didn't really point to the pain specifically, but you guys know the health bet concept so well that I knew that would grab your attention, okay? Here's where I am giving myself credibility as a member of the John Maxwell team. I mentor top 10 superstar diamonds while training 900 trading groups monthly. You've seen how effective it is for your challengers when there is a cash pot, so just imagine how that would be the same experience created for your business. In my new training, I've created an intense environment for coaches to do their vitals and get paid for it. Blah, 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 blah. Comment below for details. Here's what happens. I spend a lot of money on this one, by the way, which is why there's so much in such little time. They comment, and all you do is if you had not messaged this, here, let's go to, this will give you top comments or most recent. Most recent is the easiest way to organize it to make sure you just go to the people who have literally just commented, because when you get hundreds of comments, it is kind of difficult. Here we go. Good. We have some that my assistant has not got to yet. Right under their comment, they say info. It's got like, reply, message. What I do is I first like it. That way I've kind of checked it off as someone that I'm messaging. Okay. Then I hit message and it pulls it right up here. And I get to send Melanie Keller Magruder. Wouldn't that be interesting if you were in this training watching this video right now? And I get to send her a message. Now, here's the cool thing. I've already told them what it is. Okay? This makes the process easier because they already know what I'm selling and they said they were interested. Okay? I don't need to have a 75 message conversation with this person, which if you're in this group, I don't let you go more than 4 messages without doing an invite anyways. But we have literally got someone saying, I want what you have. We don't have to do as much work to get them to sign up. Okay? So what you do need to do, okay? I'm going to stop share for a second. What you do need to do is set up some scripts. What I do for my ads to make it easy, I know you guys are like exhausted. I'm really sorry. I'm almost done, I promise. What you need to do is set up some scripts to walk them down the path you want them to go down. Now, this is where it is completely different than when you're having conversations with someone that you met in a Facebook group or that you found through hashtags, because those people did not say in the Facebook group or on Instagram, I am very interested in your product. Would you please message me? They didn't say that, correct? These are people who are saying, I want what you have. Just give me the details. So what I do is in the first message, here, actually, I will pull up my scripts and I will read them to you, and then I will share them in the file so that you'll have them. Yours are going to look different because you're selling a totally different product than I am, but I want you to see how I literally take them down the path that I want them to be on. They can say no and hop off at any time, but because I'm walking them down a path, I can use literally the same first message, same second message, same third message, same fourth message every single time with every single person, which means all I'm doing is copying and pasting, which is the only reason I have ads, because I was getting so many comments. If I wouldn't have done it that way, I couldn't have kept up with it. And then when I hired an assistant to take over it for me, I literally just handed her the scripts and easy. Okay. So what I do, let me pull up my scripts in a separate folder here in my notes. Okay, here we go. Recruiting response. This is the first thing that I send them for my Art of Recruiting ad, which is not the one I just showed you. This is a different one, okay? Now, it is kind of lengthy. It's a little bit lengthier than what we would normally message a normal person. But remember, this person asked for more info. It's okay to give them a little more info, okay? Thanks for the response. Exclamation mark, because I want to be friendly, right? So I have a group that I run that is specifically for people wanting to build their tribe and go to the next level. It's called The Art of Recruiting. I currently mentor 3 of the top 30 coaches. That's how old this script is. That needs updated really bad. From 2015, and work with several other elite coaches who also put up big numbers. I've noticed the difference between the coaches who go elite and beyond and those who don't comes down to recruiting and leadership. I have another group to focus on leadership, but honestly, I believe mastering recruiting has to come first. As you build a team big enough, then you can learn to be a better leader. Would you be interested in a 4-week group that helps you get intentional about taking your recruiting to the next level? What you might say is, thanks so much for the response. I'm so glad you commented on my ad. So I basically have a group, and what we do is we help people to get results on their health and fitness journey. What I've personally learned is that without accountability, it's almost impossible to make any progress. No matter how many times I signed up for the gym, no matter how many different diets or weight loss pills I tried, it never seemed to work. The number one thing that I have found that has helped me get results is the accountability of other people and checking in daily. I have a group that I run just like that. It's a 3-week, 4-week, whatever group, where we have accountability and check-ins every single day to help you get the results that you want. Is that something that would help you reach your goals? Now, notice I asked them a question that they have to say yes or no to. Correct? We don't really want to do that with people in groups because we're trying to form them and we're trying to create this connection. This person already said, I want information. And if I have to form them the way I do people in groups, guys, if your ad takes off, you're going to literally spend 24 hours a day responding to people. This allows me to just copy and paste. If they don't respond, to be honest, 80% of them don't, it's done. Now, you can follow up, because here's the beauty. If they said, I want more information, Now it is a true follow-up because they asked for information. My assistant goes through at the end of the month and follows up on everyone who's commented for the whole month that never responded to the initial message and says something like, hey, the group's starting in 4 days. I don't know if you saw the last message, but I just wanted to check and see if you're still interested. He had like 7 people sign up in 1 day from doing that, okay? So the first message gives them a little more information, tells them why your group is the answer to their problem, okay? Second one. Second response, where are you at? Sorry, guys, I should have had this organized in a folder. Second response with price. I get to the price that quick with this on the second one because these are people that said, yes, actually that would help me. I do. Oh gosh, I could really use that accountability. That sounds amazing. Notice how there's not really anything they can say other than I can almost guarantee you they will say every single time, I would love that. It sounds amazing. What does it cost? Or does it cost? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell them what it costs, but not until I sell them a little bit more. Okay, awesome. So if that's what you want to focus on, I'd love to help. The group includes 4 weeks of training that is set up similar to the way you would run a challenge group. Every Monday, there's a 1-hour teaching that comes with homework. And then each day there are challenges and check-ins to make sure you're implementing what you're learning. I'll teach you how to tell your story. I'll teach you how to post about the business opportunity, how to have convos that lead to coaches, how to brand yourself, how to grow your network. I've jam-packed over $500 worth of value into this group, but I'm offering it at $199. Does that sound like it would help your business? Notice I ended with a question that if they answer no to, they're saying it doesn't help their business. I have subconsciously set them up to say yes. Now, sometimes people will say, that sounds amazing, but I can't afford it. But no one ever just says, no thanks. Like literally ever. I've never had someone just say no thanks. They say, I'd really like to, but I can't afford it. Now, you know what they've done? They've admitted to me that I'm their solution. And it makes it a whole lot easier to either 1, overcome an objection, or 2, at least follow up with them in the future, knowing there's someone who has already admitted I'm their solution. It is really hard to say out of your mouth, yes, you are the solution, and then say, no, I don't want to sign up. That's really hard to do, correct? So I've literally set them up to admit I'm their solution. What you might say is, okay, awesome. So if that's something, you want to work on, I would love to have you in my next group. Let me give you a few more details. Not only does it include accountability, but it also comes with a workout program you can do from home. By the way, we have a package running right now where you get access to the whole online library. It's $5,000 worth of workout programs. Plus, you're going to get me as your personal coach. You'll be able to shoot me messages with questions that you have. I have all of my recipes in there, all of my tips, blah, blah, blah. Add value, add value, add value, add value. Normally, something like this would cost blah, 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 blah. But right now, it's on sale for this amount. Does that sound like it would help you reach your goals and finally lose that extra weight that you want to get rid of? End it in a way they can't say no. They either say yes, but, or they say, yeah, that sounds awesome. What do I do next? And I'm literally trying to get them to say, what do I do next by the second message? And if they say, yes, I'd love to be in, what do I do next? Then it literally just goes to a thing that says, great, I'm so excited, can't wait to work with you, blah, blah, blah. The next group starts, blah, blah, blah. All you need to do to sign up is go to blah, blah, blah. That easy. Your third message obviously would look a little bit different. It would need to say something like, oh, great, I'm so excited to have you in the next group. I just need a few things to get you enrolled. I need your email address, what flavor of Shaco you would, which by the way, I didn't even mention Shaco in there. Obviously, you'd want to add in the Shaco value in the second message, okay? What flavor of Shaco do you want? And I'll literally right now get this worked up and sent to your email. And just do me a huge favor. This is what I would do if I were you guys, since you guys have to communicate through an email to make the sale or whatever. Do me a huge favor. As soon as you get the email, reply to me and make sure I got it, because sometimes I screw up people's email addresses and I just want to make sure I get it to the right person. And that gives them a little, oh yeah, I'll reply. And that way, you know, they actually got the email. And now you can check in with them the next day. Hey, just wanted to check in. I hadn't seen your order come through. Was there something you were confused about? Or, sometimes the system has bugs. I just wanted to check in with you. Kind of gives you permission to like check in with them. Okay. That's my script process. I literally have it saved in a folder in my notes called drafts. Could call it scripts, whatever. And I have number 1, number 2, and number 3. Now, the mistake that I've made is that I don't do these myself anymore. My assistants do them for me. So anytime I make up a new draft for them to use on a new ad, I save it into this folder. But for you, if you're doing your own messages, I would have drafts for call to action ad, drafts for free group ad, drafts for blah, 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 whatever that is. And by the way, I mentioned today that it's very, very, very duplicatable for what you're doing in your personal page and your Instagram. This is actually something I learned from a client that I used to work with, Carly Del Carlo, who was top 10 in 2014. She uses something similar to this for all of the messaging she does. Now, it's more detailed and there's more messages involved, but I would highly encourage you for all of the invites you do to have scripts set up. Every single time you answer a question that you've never answered before, save it as a script because you will get that question 100 more times. Copy and paste it. Every single time someone asks a question on one of my ads that my assistant doesn't know the answer to, she messages it to me. I type up an answer for it. She saves it as a new draft that she can then reuse anytime she gets that question. Most of you get the question, the same 5 or 6 questions a million times. And I'm really, really, really glad that I taught drafts in this video because honestly, this is probably something that should have been taught in the conversations, but it's just something that I literally haven't even used in the last year because my assistant does it for me. So I'm glad it's coming out now. I need to find a way to work this back into one of the other videos, or maybe Josh, you're watching, look at me. I'm getting your attention as you're editing this video. Take this part, add it into the other videos for me. Okay. Thanks, buddy. You're the best. I love you. But seriously, something that's really, really important if you're having 20 conversations and 10 invites a day is to create a draft system as you go. Every single time you answer a question, save it, put it into a draft, name it something that makes it easy to recall on, because at the end of the day, give it 1 month and you've probably answered in that many conversations every question you'll ever get for the rest of your life as a Beachbody coach, which means, yes, I get it. This month is tough, guys. It is. It's tough to do 20 conversations and 10 invites. It's a lot of work. Some of you are dreaming about conversations and invites. Good. That means you're working hard. But next month, when you've got a draft system created and you can literally just go copy and paste stuff, I'm telling you, the conversations are going to get so much easier. I got to the point where it was exhausting, but I literally just sat down in my office for 2 hours every night and just copy and paste from my drafts. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Was it tedious? Yes. Was it annoying? Yes. But as your business takes off, you can get other people, if you need to do that stuff for you. 2 hours a day. You pay an assistant starting off. I started off my sister at $10 an hour. I pay her way more than that now because she's been just such a huge part of my business. Start someone off at $10 an hour, guys. $20 a day. If you think about that, have them work 5 days a week. That's $100 a week. Okay. Now let's scale that down. A lot of you don't need someone to work 2 hours a day yet. Let's say you can get them to work 2 hours a week and go in and respond to messages on your ad for you. You just spent $20 so that you don't have to spend 2 hours going copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And I promise you in 2 hours of copying and pasting, they can sell at least one challenge pack and pay for their own hours, right? That's why I hired an assistant. It was making so many sales. I said, you know what? I could be doing better things with my time because anyone can hit copy and paste. And if I can pay someone else to hit copy and paste, it's going to pay for itself while I get to do some of the other stuff that keeps my business moving forward and keeps me excited about what I do. So I promise if you do this right, there is a light at the end of the tunnel where you do what I do for a living. You wake up And instead of doing all of the tedious stuff that it takes to grow a business, you literally pay other people to do those things, and you get to do what you love. I have a call at 9 o'clock in the morning with one of my one-on-one clients, which, by the way, is a blast for me because I have awesome clients. Actually, sorry, let me walk you through my full day. I'm going to walk you through my full day, okay? Just so you catch the big picture, because this is really not an ad thing. This is a group thing. I know I've got a lot of people on here live and watching the recording, and I want you to hear this because I know a lot of people are like, dang, I don't know if I can work this hard. Like, this is hard work, okay? This is my schedule now. I wake up at 8, take one of my kids to school because I got kids that go to school at different time. I come home, I do my workout. I hop on my 9 o'clock call with a one-on-one client, literally in my workout clothes. I get done with that call. I take a shower. I get dressed. I go get lunch somewhere because I honestly just never cook for myself. I literally drive to downtown Tulsa where there are local restaurants with good local food every single day for lunch. I go to a coffee shop. I'm at a coffee shop by 12:30, drinking my favorite coffee, pull up my laptop. I'm working on my ads. I'm working on my next webinar. I'm doing a lot of stuff that I just taught you. I'm planning out next training groups. And then at 3 o'clock, I have a call with another one-on-one client. At 4 o'clock, I'm done for the day. I usually hang out, talk to my buddy at the coffee shop, or maybe work on like some idea that I had, whether it be writing a book or whatever. 5 o'clock, I leave the coffee shop to go home. And I don't have to touch the business the rest of the night unless my assistant emails me or messages me with a question. That's what my day looks like. And honestly, on Mondays and Fridays, I don't schedule but just one morning call. So here's the thing. It's hard work. Anything worth having is hard work. But if you do it right, you build your business up enough that you get to hire people to do the tedious crap like what I just taught you while you do the stuff you love. Train your coaches. Plan out team calls. Plan out your next challenge group. Put together push groups for your team. That's all the stuff that we all like. That's why we all signed up to do what we like, what we do. So we like that part of it, correct? You got to do the hard stuff to earn the right to do the fun stuff. And if you never do enough of the hard stuff, you'll never have enough to even enjoy the fun stuff. And you'll never make enough money to last doing the fun stuff. You've got to put in that season at the beginning. And it takes sometimes a year, sometimes it takes 2 years of being consistent day in, day out to go through this process that I'm teaching you to show up for work, to do your thing. And if you do, you earn the right to do all the stuff that you love for the rest of your life. And that's what it looks like for my one-on-one clients. Very few of them do any invites at all because they don't need to anymore. They've built up big enough followings. They have ads running, Instagram shout outs. They have all these other ways that they use their money to get people to just come to them. That's what's in the future for you if you just stick with it. So now I have a big apology for Karen because I just realized, man, what a trooper she is. She like never hopped. And then I realized I kind of told her she was my only option for any form of communication and forced her to be on a call. And I'm just feeling really bad if you're on Eastern time right now. Okay, thank God. I apologize. I did not mean to make you feel like you had to stay for the whole thing. I was just letting you know that at that time you were the only person I could see. So anyways, I know that was really, 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 really long, and I apologize for the length of it, but I'm not sorry for the length of it because that's everything that I want to deliver. I literally delivered to you every single tiny little thing I wanted to deliver to you as far as Facebook ads go, okay? If you want to get people to your events, one last thing that take 2 seconds to show you. I know you're like, holy frick, bro, you have more? Let me just show you this because I did mention that I was going to show you this earlier, and I don't like to say I'm going to do something and then not do it. If you want to do events instead, it's in the same thing. Create ad. If you have an event, if you're going to run a free group inside an event or run a coaching call inside a free event, if you're going to use the webinar formula that I gave you and run it in an event, remember how I showed you guys how to do that? Here's how easy it is. Go to engagement. It's under engagement, but instead of doing post, you do event responses. Continue. You're going to set up all this stuff the same way, okay? You're going to decide, do I want to run it toward my warm audience or my cold audience? That depends. Is it a free group? Is it a what is coaching call? If it's a what is coaching, your like page is probably a better way to go, okay? You're going to do all the same stuff on this page, all the same stuff that I already taught you. And then over here, you're going to choose your event, which I don't have any coming up right now because I'm scheduling my next webinar tomorrow, actually. But you'll literally just type in whatever the name of your event is, and it'll pull it up right here, okay? And then you're going to do the text here. And I want you to do the text just like a call to action. Point to the pain. Tell them why you're the person. Give them a step-by-step you're going to give them a step-by-step process. If you guys have seen ads for my webinars, I use that 4-step process that I gave you every single time. And we're going to pick an image. Bam. Hey, there's me and Josh Ring hanging out at my event. Obviously, the image is if you have an event image, it'll pull that one up automatically and allow you to use that. Okay, and then place order. Boom. So running one on an event is exactly the same, except you choose event responses. Okay? If you're running a motivation post, it's ideal to have it cost between 10 cents and 30 cents per engagement. If you're running a call to action where you're trying to get them to comment below, the target range you're aiming for is 30 cents to 70 cents. And if you're getting event responses, the target range is between 50 cents and say like $1. Okay? I throw that in because if you check on your ad and it's costing you $1 per engagement on your motivation post, you have effed something up bad, because that should be the cheapest thing. It should be the easiest thing. Most of my motivation posts cost me like 10 cents per engagement, which means it's only costing me about 30 cents per page like. Okay? 10 cents to 30 or 40 cents for motivation posts. That's your target range. For any type of call to action post that says comment below, target range is say 30 cents up to say 70 cents is the kind of the worst end of it, but we can handle that as long as we're getting some conversions. If it's an event, 50 cents up to $1. And if you're getting event responses for cheaper than 50 cents, you're doing awesome. You're going to throw some freaking money at that thing. Okay? As far as how much to spend, it's 100% up to you. Whatever your budget is, that's what you spend. Don't feel like you have to spend more. Remember, learning is just doing. Okay? You don't want to learn with $1,000 if you can learn with 100. Okay? So I'm highly encouraging you guys to test all of these things every single time you do it. Test it at $5 a day until you feel more confident and more comfortable. Then you can start running it for $10, $15, $20 a day. I honestly run most of my stuff between $5 and $10 a day, unless it's a webinar, which I know converts sales so easily, because if you get on my webinar, you get to hear me speak. I have a huge presentation formula that I already taught you guys. It really, really, really works. I will gladly pay $3,000 to get 2,500 people on a webinar. For you, obviously, it's going to look different. You have a different audience. You have a different budget. You have a different product that you're selling. I'm selling to business owners. It's very easy to sell business training because you're programmed to believe you need more training. And you do. We all need more training, okay? I think that's everything. I could drink 5 gallons of water now, probably need 2 bottles of wine in order to sleep. Thank you everyone for hanging with me. I know like half of you stuck for the whole time. If you have any questions, I will hang out for a little bit because I know I covered a lot of stuff. Thankfully, I have a pretty easy day tomorrow. So if you have questions, shoot Karen. If you need to go, you're more than free to go. I promise you don't have to stick around, but you are now my best friend, just so you know. Any questions? Let's see here. Boom. Victoria said I ran an ad for a free meal prep group and got 367 people in it. That's freaking awesome. Victoria, I hope you had some, yep, there we go. And by the 6th of the month was at SC14. That's what I'm talking about. And that is why I'm having Megan teach on free groups on Wednesday. Because as long as it's a numbers game, at the end of the day, a free group is just like a webinar. It's a numbers game. If you can get enough people in there, you will convert. As long as you have the law of energy working for you, which says if you have a lot of people, there's a lot of energy. If you don't have but 5 people, there ain't no energy. Okay. Whew. Yeah, okay, so Linda Woods, I'm scrolling back to some questions. I don't know if she's even still on here, but Linda Woods said, now I'm confused. I thought we did not want the people who like our page. I thought we needed to find new people, or is that just for the video? We want to find new people with our motivation posts and our videos, but we want to sell to people who already like our page, okay? So motivation posts and videos is kind of like going into Facebook groups and finding people or searching hashtags to talk to them about their dog, okay? And then running the ad towards your like page is like taking someone you've already been having a conversation and saying, hey, do you want to freaking sign my group already or what? Because we've talked about your dog for like 30 messages and I really want to make some money. Are you ready or what? Okay, so that's what the call to action is. It's for those people, okay? Laura will not be put in a box. Well, I appreciate you not wanting to be put in a box. I appreciate that, Laura. Okay. Laura said, how do you get the words closed caption at the bottom of your videos? So when you run an ad on a video for video views, on the very last page, it will give you an option to auto add subtitles. So the goals video that you saw that I had that had the captions. Now, here's the thing. If you see like a Chalene Johnson video, a Grant Cardone video, a Lewis Howes, they usually pay people to do that for them because it does look a little more professional. The way Facebook ads does it on my video, it still works. It still gets crap tons of views, but it doesn't look as pretty. But it allows you to add that on the very last page. It'll auto add subtitles, and then it'll allow you to go through and edit them because they will screw up some of the words, especially if you talk really fast and slurred and have terrible English like me. So you can go in and it'll literally allow you to go in and just edit the text, but it'll auto do it for you to do most of the work so it doesn't take that long. I think it took me like 30 minutes maybe, which kind of sucked for a Peacock. I freaking hate that kind of crap. But that video does really well. And by the way, adding the whole subtitle things to your videos makes them perform so much better for a motivational type of thing like what I did. Because not everyone's willing to click on something and listen to it. But if they see the words, they're like, oh, okay, this actually is interesting, then they'll click on it. I don't know about you guys, but I always got my kids running around and stuff. And I don't click on videos very often. One, because I just don't like to see other people's crap unless it's someone that I know. But sometimes I just don't know what's going to be in the video, and I'm a little less likely to. But if there's subtitles, then I'll sit and watch the video sometimes for like 30 seconds or sometimes the whole video and just literally like read along. I have friends who are deaf, so that's great for my videos. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Should we add people from our like page to our personal page? Victoria, this is 100% up to you, okay? Let me just tell you that my answer for this has nothing to do with what your answer should be. Remember, start with the end in mind. The whole reason I run ads is so that I don't have to talk to people every day. Because I did that for my first year and a half. For my first year and a half, I messaged people every freaking day. And I invited people every freaking day. The whole point of my like page is I just want people to come to me. I'm done. I'm done messaging people every day. So I don't want to go add them on my personal page because I'm going to let my ads do the work. However, if you're not spending the kind of money I am on your like page and you're not running as many ads as I am, and you're like, hey, I don't want to have to run a call to action ad just to get these people, then that's fine. You can 100% go add them to your personal page so that you can have more messages and build more of a relationship with them. That's up to you. Are you using your like page to create a funnel where you're hands off like I am? Or are you just trying to get more people, and at this point you do anything in the world for a sale? Then if that's you right now, go add them as a friend, shoot them a message, and make that freaking sale. Okay? Start with the end in mind. The answer is different for everybody. Okay? You're welcome, Linda Woods. You're so welcome. Any more questions? If not, we'll do a screenshot real quick, a big picture with everyone that hung on with me for 5,000 hours. 3 hours and 20 minutes. I shouldn't say that. I showed up late, didn't I? I was here 6 minutes late. So 3 hours and 14 minutes. You guys are amazing. Okay, we're in everyone view. Oh, Yolanda's still hanging with me even after I forgot her name. I love you. I love you. I love you. But seriously, chick's a rock star. 100% freaking rock star. Christine, what's up, girl? How you doing? Oh, it's so great to see all of you. This whole time I could I'm sorry. I love you, Karen, and it was great, but it was also weird going, I wonder if anyone else is like it. I mean, she's having to pretend she likes it because I straight up told her she was the only person I could see. So she had to pretend. But I'm like, I hope other people are actually getting something out of this. Megan, what's kicking, girl? You doing all right? You look a little sleepy. I just talked you to death, didn't I? Okay. Let's take a picture here. Okay, everybody put your smiley faces on. I'll give you a countdown. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me and giving me a live audience to talk to. I appreciate it so much. I hope tonight helped you. I hope you can sleep tonight because my gosh, I literally need 2 bottles of wine. But I will post the scripts that I shared for what I messaged to people in the page. I'll make sure I'll send them over to my assistant. He'll get them put in the files, hopefully first thing tomorrow, if not for sure by tomorrow morning, so that you guys remember, put them in your own words. They're obviously not in your words, but think about what's Josh trying to do here. What's he trying to get across to people here, and what's the path he's trying to take them on? Okay, that first one is to just kind of resell to them why my group is going to be the thing they need. Okay. Second one is going to give all the value. This is why it's the most valuable thing you've ever done. This is why what I'm offering is better than anything on the planet. And then literally, do you want to sign up? Are you ready to do this, or do you want to do this or what? You know what I'm saying? If it's a free group, you don't even have to go to that much trouble. If it's a free group, you literally just say, hey, this is what the group includes. You want to join this or what? You going to join this mother, or are you out of here? What's going on? It never, ever, ever takes as much work to get to a free group. Not to mention you're not making money off of it, so you don't need to put in as much work. If it's free and you need to ask me 30 questions, I don't want you joining my groups. My God, just get out, okay? If it's free, you should have one question, and that one question should be, is it really free? And as long as the answer is yes, get your butt in there and let's do this, okay? Have a good night, guys. Seriously, so thankful for you guys. Love you guys so much, and I will see you guys all soon, okay? Bye, guys.